Man, salute to my brother Ticket and Mario, man. Shout out to LDBC, the Lions Den basketball community. Shout out to everybody that been supportive to us and to all the brothers, man. I've been dropping content and appreciate all the brothers that been on Telegram chopping it up, talking this shit, saying whatever they want to say to get whatever they need to get off. Salute to everybody. We had an interesting thing going on Telegram yesterday when me, Ticket, and Elder was going against guys that were basically saying that role players today clears the role players basically in the 80s and 90s. And Ticket brought up some great points, the Elder brought up some great points, and I just chimed in with a little historic perspective, just letting them know how good those players were back in those times in the 80s and 90s. And when you compare them to the past champions of this era, the role players basically back then is if not better than those guys, they are equal to the role players are today. Me, me honestly, with my opinion, that I think the roles of the role players haven't changed a bit since basketball began. When you look at it, it's going to be relatively close in most of the conversations. So then you got to analyze the type of players we're talking about. But for the most part, the role players in this era do not clear the role players in the 80s and 90s. And that's the whole point we want to bring light to and let people know how talented guys were back in the 80s and 90s and all that. So we compare champions from like some of the 80s and champions from previous years more recently, and really just let the people know that, hey, you think these role players now are clearing the role players back then, but they're really not. The averages are close. The type of players that you compare the other role players to, most of those role players are legends, and they were better and they were more suited and more fit, the whole nine. So at the end of the day, a lot of guys really don't understand basketball. Period. Really don't understand basketball. Period. And guys got a perspective because they want to elevate another era above another, but not understanding. In basketball, you're gonna always have talented guys that have to fulfill a role that's for the betterment of the team. So just to compare, I'm gonna just start off with a simple comparison. I'm going to compare the 1982-83 76ers team for their role players, not the stars, to the 2020 Lakers. Andrew Toney averaged 19.7 points a game, basically averaged 20. Maurice Cheeks averaged 12.5 points, basically 13 points. Bobby Jones averaged 9 points. And Clint Richardson averaged 7.6 points per game in 1982-1983 era. Um, And those guys were pretty damn good. And I'm just doing like four of the best role players on each team. When you look at the 2020 Lakers, these are their top role players on their roster. Kyle Kuzma averaged 12.8 points a game. KCP averaged 9.3 points a game. Danny Green averaged 8 points a game. And Rajon Rondo averaged 11.9 points a game. So when I compare who was better at that time, 1982 Mo Cheeks or 2020 Rajon Rondo? Mo Cheeks clears Rajon Rondo. When I compare Kyle Kuzma to Andrew Toney, Andrew Toney is a far better player than Kyle Kuzma and clears him. Now Bobby Jones and Danny Green. Bobby Jones averaged 9 points and Danny Green averaged 8. And Bobby Jones, if people know the history of Bobby Jones' career, Bobby Jones was a lockdown defender, a better defender than Danny Green. And Clint Richardson compared, I mean, you might compare it to KCP, 7.6 to 9.3 points a game, but Clint Richardson was a very solid role player that played defense as well. That was a defensive-oriented team. KCP probably was a better scorer, but when I compare those top four role players, the 1982 76ers got the edge towards the 2020 Lakers. But this era is supposed to be so much better than the 80s and 90s. So I compared another one. 1985 Lakers They were champions compared to the 2021 champions Milwaukee Bucks. So I look at the top players. James Worthy averaged 17.6. Byron Scott averaged 16 points a game. Bob McAdoo averaged 10 and a half. Michael Cooper averaged 8.6 points. Mike McGee averaged 10.2. The 2021 Milwaukee Bucks. Drew Holiday averaged 17.7. Dante DiVincenzo averaged 10.4. Brook Lopez averaged 12.3. And Bobby Portis averaged 11.4. James Worthy, better player than Drew Holiday. Byron Scott, you could basically compare Byron Scott to Drew Holiday. Byron Scott is better than Drew Holiday. Was a better defender than Drew Holiday. Better scorer as well. James Worthy, if you compare him to Brook Lopez, James Worthy clears Brook Lopez. Bobby Portis and Bob McAdoo. Yes, Bobby Portis averaged a little bit more, a point more, but Bob McAdoo was a better player. Mike McGee and Dante DiVincenzo, they're basically a wash. They even 10.4 to 10.2. And Michael Cooper, 8.6 points, but his impact due to the defensive side of the ball is far greater than what Dante DiVincenzo did. Michael Cooper was a lockdown defender and very athletic. Scoring the transition, easy buckets, high flyer. So the 1985 Lakers got better role players than the 2021 Bucks. And then, this is even more, and I compared the 2022 Warriors championship role players to the 1986 Boston Celtics. It's close. But you compare Dennis Johnson to Andrew Wiggins. Dennis Johnson averaged 15.6 points. Andrew Wiggins averaged 17.2. But when you look at it, Dennis Johnson was far more clutch. And Dennis Johnson, former Finals MVP the whole nine. But in that year, 1986, Dennis Johnson was closing. Dennis Johnson was lethal in those games for Boston, coming through in the clutch. And he was a good defender. And when you compare the two for his legacy, Dennis Johnson is a better player than Andrew Wiggins. Now you got Robert Parrish compared to Draymond Green. Robert Parrish not only damn near give you a double-double, but he was the interior defender, blocking shots, altering shots, being very physical, not allowing easy buckets, having to defend guys like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but also being stable to stop guys like James Worthy driving to the goal, Michael Cooper, Byron Scott. Draymond Green, all-time great defender, but he wasn't averaging double-doubles in 2022 compared to what Robert Parrish did in 1986. Now Otto Porter Jr. compared to Danny Ainge. Both of them good defenders, both of them could knock down shots. But Danny Ainge was a lethal one, a good three-point shooter. Automatic, basically. And he could defend, and he was a pest. And he came through for the clutch hitting big shots for Boston Celtics. And he did the dirty work. Averaged more points than everything to Otto Porter Jr. Bill Walton. I can even compare Bill Walton to Draymond Green, a former Finals MVP. He was playing with bad knees, but Bill Walton was an instant impact off the bench for Boston. Basically a 6-man of the year caliber player. 7.6 points to Draymond Green 7.5. That's a wash. But Bill Walton still was skillful, still was scoring points, and could grab rebounds. He did small things as well. So when you compare the role players for 86 to the 2022 Warriors, the Celtics got the edge. That was just examples. Easy examples. So when guys try to say, guys, in this era for us, the role players are clearing the role players in the 80s and 90s, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. That lets you know they don't study the game. That lets you know they are casuals. That lets you know they push agendas. That lets you know they roll with narratives. and everything. Give me a second, man. I feel tell Mario to drop the link now. Give me 1 second. Man, I just told Mario to drop the link for you, brother. So give him a second. He'll drop the link. But guys are crazy. That let you know we deal with casuals all the time. Yes, I troll, but I ain't no fucking casual. I'm not just gonna run my damn mouth. I troll to piss off fanboys. That's what I mainly do. I like to piss off fanboys. So you catch her trolling, you catch her being an asshole. But when we come down to talking basketball, we go really talk about basketball. We really go break it down. But for people to really think that role players in this era clears the players from the 80s and 90s, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Excuse my language. They don't. But as you guys come in, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe. If y'all want to donate, y'all can to $cash11. I don't care about the donations, but I just speaking in existence because my brother tell me that's what I need to do. But
Yo,
what's happening, man? What's happening? Salute, Dre.
Too smart.
What
Salute,
up,
my
man?
brother.
I mean,
Hey, I'm gonna start off with Mr.
What up,
Mans,
Matt?
my brother, part of the Four Horsemen. Mr. Man, what you think about this topic, man? I know you was listening yesterday on Telegram, but what's your thoughts on guys feeling like this era of role players clears the role players in the 80s and 90s?
no. The 80 and 90s role players play their roles. You know, they were actually do what they needed to do, and they came on the court, and for the most part, they did that. You know, Ticket talked about the Pistons. He talked about the '98 Pacers compared to like the Denver Nuggets. I mean, I was listening, and I think people need to go back and look at some of those teams in the '80s and '90s. You know, I mean, he didn't even talk about the Knicks. You know, the Hawks. You know, the Seattle SuperSonics, the Phoenix Suns. You know, the Chicago Bulls role players, the Portland Trailblazers. You know, I think in the late '80s and then the '90s, the role players to me were better because they can do more. They can dribble, pass, and shoot. See, nowadays, a lot of role players are just quote unquote specialists, right? You get guys who can come in and all they can do is shoot the long ball. You know, all they can do is just rebound. I think back then you had more versatile role players. And so for me, what up, Matt? I'm always going to take the versatile player over the one-dimensional player, right? Ticket made a great point last night. He talked about they were talking about the '89 Pistons and the Denver Nuggets, and he was comparing Michael Porter Jr. to somebody. I forget. It was a player on the Pistons, and Ticket says, "Well, all Porter does is shoot threes. That's it. He may rebound here and there, but for the most part, he's just a long ball shooter. He doesn't add any other value on the basketball court." And Ticket brought up, I'm not sure if it was John Sally or Mark Aguirre or Bill Lambert or Dennis Rodman. It was somebody of that ilk. And those guys did more than just one thing. And so for me, you know, I just think the role players back then were more versatile. They come off your bench, and coaches had more versatility with those players. There are a couple good role players in this league that I like, but when you factor in everybody and the totality of every single role player, come on, man. Like you have to go back and really analyze some of these teams. And just real quick, Herm, you know, I want to highlight the '98 Pacers and the 2000 Pacers because I think the Pacers were built as one of the most complete teams in the NBA. They should have beat the Bulls in '98. You know what I'm saying? They ran into the 2000 Lakers. Outside of Reggie Miller, who was their star player, they had the Dutchman, Rick Smiths. They had the Antonio and Dale Davis, quote unquote, the Davis brothers. They had Aaron
Derek McKee.
My bad, Derek McKee, Travis Best,
Jalen Rose,
young Jalen Rose, Pat,
Austin Crozier.
Austin Crozier. I'm getting the names mixed up here. Older left-hand shooter, Mullins, You know what I'm saying?
You
And
had
so that
Mark
team was,
Jackson.
yeah. Oh, listen, I didn't even mention Mark Jackson, one of the most elite floor generals of in NBA history. His name doesn't get brought up when it comes to just running the point guard position. And so, I mean, and I didn't even touch on like Seattle and Utah, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna let you move on, bro. But yeah, in my opinion, I think the 90s and 80s had better role players because the players were just more versatile and they weren't asked just to do one thing.
And they
And
had a
you know,
higher IQ. They had a higher
oh, for sure.
basketball IQ.
Oh, for sure. Facts.
Dre, what's your thoughts on this topic, Dre? Do you agree with me or do you side with the majority on these YouTube streets saying that these role players in this era would clear the 80s and 90s role players, the so-called plumbers?
Nah, I don't think that these role players today are clear to the guys of the 90s and the 80s. I think I think people get like skill and think just because you might be more skilled at something that means that you're better, which it does. Because the players from the 80s and 90s clearly had better IQs. Like they were better with actual basketball IQ. They understood the game, they understood their roles, and they played their roles to a T. These guys today are selfish, man. Most of these guys, you got a guy on the bench that'll come in off the bench and he'll chuck up 30 million shots all game and not realize that he's shooting his team out the game. You get what I'm saying? Them guys back then, bro, they played their role and they understood the game. They actually played team ball. The guys these days, man, most is just about getting their stats. So I think just because they're more skilled, you could argue and say they might be more skilled today just because of technology and medicine and stuff like that. But as far as like just player for player, no, I'm not with that, bro. The 80s and 90s, like, even like, I don't understand why guys disrespect the older eras, bro, and think just because you say, oh, guys in the 80s and 90s couldn't hold water for guys today. That's just not facts, bro. The guys today are just soft, bro. Like let's just call a spade a spade. They don't play team ball and they're soft, bro. Most guys don't even want to play 70 games a season. Them guys back there had to hustle, bro. They had to fight for everything, bro. Like I think that's the biggest difference, bro, is the hunger. Most of them guys back there, they had to fight to stay on them teams. They had to fight for their role. They weren't giving anything. These guys, they're just giving everything, bro. They're like a microwave society these days, bro. Everything is just here, quick, fast, here, just hand it to you, bro. So I think that's the biggest difference, bro, is the IQ and the hunger. Them guys back then, IQ and hunger wise, bro, clear these guys these days, bro, because they had to play more physical and they actually had to earn their role. They actually had to really perform. These guys today, bro, like once you get paid a certain amount of money, bro, you can have a guy on the bench that's better than you, and the guy that's better than you is not gonna play just because you got money, just because you're making more money. So like, I don't know, bro. Like I don't understand why people disrespect the older era, bro. Like
Dre's making a great point, man.
Right
I mean,
there, but
this is probably one of
come
your
on.
best takes, Dre. You make some great points, man.
Yeah, yeah. Who else in here, man? Who else in here ready to cook, man?
What up, Salute? It's too smart, man.
What's your thoughts,
Smart.
Too Smart, my brother? What's your
What's
thoughts,
happening,
my
man?
brother?
Salute, Ticket, salute, Mass, salute, Dre, salute,
What up, big dog?
Hearn. Salute to the shout out to the stream. Yeah, man, this is easy work. This is a no-brainer. If you think players, I'm gonna just say in general. I mean, it's easy. I mean, when you think about the level of commitment and dedication that players had back then, if you put any of those role players or any of the star player, any player really, with their level of dedication, and you put them in this era, they're gonna outwork anybody in this era. Okay, let's just get that understood, because they had less everything. They had less technology. The film wasn't as advanced, so let's just get that understood. That means their IQs were higher. The so-called specialists in the league today, there's only one specialist, bro, and that's a three-point shooter. I don't see any defensive specialists. I don't see, like, name me one Bruce Bowen that we have in the league right now. Name me one Robert Ory that we have in the league right now. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Michael Petrus. Y'all remember Michael Petrus? Is he considered a role player?
Yeah, he
Yes,
was Orlando.
yes,
Yeah,
he's a
Orlando.
role player for
Right.
sure.
So name me one guy like that in the league. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these guys are versatile. They did multiple things. It's really it's a no-brainer, bro. Like, people nowadays, I think it's the glitz and the glam, the way it looks, You know, they watch highlights instead of watching the game in a totality to see
Can
what
I take
really
it a
happened.
step further, bro? Can I take it a step further?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tika talked about last night. He mentioned enforcers. There's no Charles Oakleys. You know, there's no Xavier
Right.
McDaniels, the Dale Davis brothers, Antonio and,
No
and,
Rick
and Dale.
Mahorns.
You know, right? You know,
Out the league, bro. They
you
took him out the
know,
league.
Anthony
Not Smith.
Masons. You know, Charles Smiths. You know, the Chris Levinstons. You
Even
know,
Robert Parrish was bold
yeah,
as
Robert
shit at
Parrish.
league.
You know, Duckworthy in Portland. You know, like, and I mean, in today's era, that guy would be who? Draymond Green. I mean, what are we talking about, man?
Yeah, they
Like,
took
this
them
is
players out of the
crazy.
game, bro. They took them players out of the game. I think
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing that the NBA did. That was a negative for them, was taking out the guys who was the enforcers, because those
right.
guys were the leaders. They were the vets who was able to get the young guys and tell them like, hey, and teach them how to be professionals. I think that's
And
the
they
problem.
held guys accountable, Dre. And they held guys accountable.
That's what I'm saying. Most of these guys don't have them vets. Like the last guy that probably was like that was probably Udonis Haslem. They don't have them guys that's the vet that's teaching them how to become professionals, because these guys come in the game, they don't know how to be a professional. They don't know anything about being professionals. They just know about being athletes.
Well, they don't value team basketball. All they worry about is just their brand and them getting up their little 4, 5, 6 shots, and that's it. You know, back in the day, the role players had to do the most they could in the limited time they had to work with.
Yes.
And so, you know, they can dribble, pass, and shoot. Most guys today can only do one thing well. If it's a rebound,
Right.
if it's shooting. Back then, guys can literally affect the game in multiple ways.
So real quick, Mass, I didn't mean to cut you
Yeah.
off. So basically,
Go ahead, bro. You got it, man.
basically what we're saying then, basically what this adds up to is there were more roles back then than there is now. So how can the role players be better than the role players back then when there's literally one role nowadays? A shooter, spot, a long range shooter, bro. Even guys like what was the 3-point guy, Caucasian guy, played for Atlanta, then he played with LeBron. What's his name?
Talk about Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver. You know what I'm saying? Like, even he was like, I mean, he perfected his role. You know what I'm saying? You really don't see that. You know what I mean? You really don't see guys. So I mean, this is a no-brainer. I don't even know what this is a no-brainer.
Well, they ain't got no role, bro. Like, you sub in, it's like you on your own. Like, you got centers playing.
What is their role? Right. What is their role?
Like, they
I
ain't
can't
got
say
no role.
that for everybody in the league, but
They don't understand team concepts. This era don't understand team concepts.
You still got guys that's great role players in the NBA today.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, but it's not at the same level that it was back then, because back then, a lot of guys understood that if you're not the star, you're a role player. These guys think, oh, I'm not the star, but hey, I still can drop 15 to 18 points, so that makes me somebody. So they don't understand the process of being, like you guys are saying, playing team and being a role player. They think just because they
give coaches credit, Dre. Rick Adelman, Phil Jackson, Greg Popovich, Larry Brown, some of these, Larry Bird, George Carlin,
John Collins.
These guys had structure, and these guys were able to coach their team and have guys with defined roles. Nowadays, a coach can't even tell a point guard to be a point guard. A coach can't even tell a big man to be a big man. It's like these guys are coming to the league, and the coach can't even coach their own team no more. And so we must give credit to the coaches as well, man, because they were allowed to be coaches on the other teams. Nowadays, I'm like, who's the coach? Is it the player, star player, or who's coaching?
That's a great point, dog. That's a great point.
Yeah, you feel me?
I hate to say this, but it's the money, bro. Like, when you paying these guys 40, 50, 60 million, bro, they're going to go with the guys who they're paying the most money to, and that's what it's come to now, bro. You remember back then, bro, like, guys wasn't making 40 and 50, 60. Hell, Michael Jordan probably made 50 million his whole career. You get what I'm saying? So, like, they weren't out. Like, now these days, bro, like, it's easier for them to get rid of a coach versus get rid of a player, because they pay a coach way less than what they pay players.
That's
so they don't respect the coaches like they should, bro. Like, prime example, think about how many guys actually have got into it with Hall of Fame style coaches, bro, and got them kicked out of places. That would never happen back in the 80s and 90s. You get what I'm saying? So, like,
bro. Trae Young got what's his name fired. Nick McMillan, bro. Nick McMillan is from the George Karl tree, and he's considered like a no nonsense type of coach. And Trae Young got that dude fired, man. It's just pathetic, bro. It's sad, man. Sad.
Especially with the fact that he was actually a good coach for them, bro. He was bringing a defensive impact to them and everything, bro. And just because he started putting with him, he was like, oh, he's gone, I'm gone. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Well,
Like,
he started holding Trae Young accountable, and these players don't want to be held accountable.
Exactly. And that's my point. Guys do not want to be coached anymore, bro. Guys do not want to be coached. That's what most of these guys do not want to be coached.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, bro, because if you think about it, bro, think about how many guys actually would sail in their roles if they just accepted their roles and understood who they are as a player, bro. Think about how much
and Dre, bros, my bad to butt in, bro, but some of that is on the star players of this era, because I see, and this is just my opinion, I see too many star players in this era trying to do everything. They want to score, pass, and shoot. Whereas back then, the star players let their big men get rebounds. They let their point guards be point guards. If I'm a two guard, then okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my shots up. In this era, you got some of these players, man, who are getting 30 points a game. They want every single rebound. They want to be the playmaker. And so it's hard to even get a role defined if your best player is not sharing those duties with the team. And so, I mean, I got to say that too. So, because that plays a major role as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, prime example, like, we really don't have any true big man, bro. Like, everything is really positionless now. Everything is really small ball positionless stuff, bro. Like, think about how many great big men they had back in the 80s and 90s, bro. And then compare that to the big men now, bro. It scares, bro. It's like a rare commodity.
There's a question inside the chat. It says, who's the best coach right now? I'm not saying just because they won a championship, but I think Mike Malone has some of those old school values that I like. No nonsense, feisty. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to mix it up, not afraid to get on his players. And so I know Greg Popovich is still coaching. But for me, the best coaching league right now, just based off pure coaching and able to relate to his players and communicates well from what I see. To me, it's Mike Malone. Some may say Greg Popovich still because he's Greg, but I got to give Mike some credit, man, because he's a fucking great coach.
I like what Ime Udoka is doing in Houston.
I was just about to say Ime.
Yeah, I do too. And Mike Brown in Sacramento. I mean, there's a few guys we can name too.
Yeah.
Mike Brown.
Yeah.
I like guys like Nick Nurse. Dang, what's the dude out there in I can't think his name right now, man. He used to be the Utah coach, man.
Quinn Snyder.
Quinn Snyder's another good.
Where is he at right now? Is he in Indiana? Where's he at? Or is that Rick Carl?
No, he's in Indiana. They got rid of Rick Carlisle. That's why I think I want to say, but I didn't know for sure. So I thought he was in Indiana. I thought he was one, but
I thought Quinn Snyder was in Atlanta.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, where's Quinn?
I was gonna say Atlanta.
It's Atlanta.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rick Carlisle's still there.
Yeah.
But what makes Nick Snyder so good is that he comes from the college rank, so he knows how to relate to players. I mean, I think he coaches a certain way, and I like Quinn Snyder. Or
I think the best coach as far as like in the NBA right there, I think it's Spo.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, he's
just
not
because
bad.
of everything he's able to do. Like, think about like how much talent he has and he hasn't had, and he's still been able to get so much accomplished.
Yeah, good coach. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can't push back on that. Cool.
I think Mike Brown is up there, and Tom Thibodeau be too stubborn at times, but he's a great coach. But he just get too stubborn sometimes. But I think Tom Thibodeau and Mike Brown are one of the better coaches too.
Yeah, that's true too, huh? Yeah, that's true too, man. But yeah, man.
But I see these damn fools didn't want to come in and get to smoke with us about their feelings about this era role players being far better than the 80s and 90s.
Right.
Do y'all think do you think they get confused? Like they might think the guys might be more skilled today versus back then, just because like I said, because of technology and medicine and stuff like that?
To answer that question, Dre, I think they always mix up skill and
yeah, I think it's that, Dre, and I think it's a level of delusion. They just didn't watch you guys play. I mean, if you didn't see the Blazers, Knicks, Pacers, Hawks, Cavaliers, Seattle, Utah, Indiana role players play back in the 90s, then you wouldn't appreciate Pistons in the late 80s, then you wouldn't the Milwaukee Bucks, you wouldn't appreciate what they had outside of their star players. I mean, go back and look at those Knicks teams, bro, that played the Bulls. I mean, bro, like Starks, Derek Harper, Charles Smith, Charles
Houston.
Oakley, Allen Houston, Greg Anthony, John Starks. I mean, what are we? Anthony Mason. I mean, Indiana. I mean, I already ran down their crew, bro.
I
the
mean, I
Phoenix
could
Suns.
go to the Miami Heat.
Yeah, the Miami
Steve
Heat.
Smith,
Yeah.
Rashawn Leonard, PJ Brown. I
Steve
mean,
Smith. Yeah,
nigga could go there, man. Danny
Right.
Shades. I could go down the list on that.
right. What up, Just Blaze?
It's crazy. Even remember Bruce Bowen used to be on Miami.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that 93 Phoenix Suns team, the outside of Charles Barkley, KJ Chambers. I mean, I'm sorry, Dan Marley, Aubrey
Dan
Miller,
Danny Manning.
you know, Danny Ainge. I mean, they were just deep. Yeah, I mean, just a deep team, bro.
Cedric Ceballos.
Cedric Ceballos. I mean, Seattle. I mean, come on, man. Gary. I mean, Sean. You know,
Desert Shrimp.
Nick McMillan, Dylan Shrimp. You know,
Hershey
David
Hawkins.
Daniels,
Hershey.
Think about teams like
Hershey
even
Hawkins.
the years before
Sam
Ron
Perkins.
had
Sam Perkins. Talk about role players,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
talk about role players. And do last night mention Reggie Jackson and fucking Bruce Brown. I mean, come on, man. Stop this nonsense, bro. Stop it.
Yeah, just think about guys. Even think
And
about a guy like
KCP.
Ron Harper when he was in Cleveland. Think about them Cleveland teams with Ron Harper. They had
Wow,
some great
dude.
teams.
Yeah, they did.
People don't realize before the knee injuries, Ron Harper was a bad man.
You'll give me Denver 24
Yeah,
games.
Sure, yeah,
before
Ron
Bruce Brown.
Harper was that guy
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
know. So it's just
I
a
mean-
level of, you know, I mean, people
Hershey
have to
Hawkins is
educate
a
themselves.
football player. Hershey Hawkins.
Yeah, a shooter, Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, knockdown shooter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, knockdown shooter.
I would go as far to say maybe you could say that the players are quote more skilled, but going back to what you said, Mass, about how players nowadays they're just trying to do everything. So it looked like they most skilled, right? You got Giannis who can bring the ball up the court and who can maybe do a crossover here and there.
But he can't shoot.
Right.
But he
So
can't shoot.
I mean, you could say, but that doesn't equal IQ to me. IQ to me, that I feel like that's gonna always, the game is mental, man. The game is mental.
Yeah.
I was told in college it's 90% mental, 10% physical. That's what my coach told me, and so I think that's really it's not that anymore though. It's more about the glitz and the glam and the crossover. It ain't even about the crossover. Well, I don't know. It is. I mean, maybe it is the step back, the traveling, the whatever, man. But
I mean, bro, these players in this era don't even understand time, pace, and score. Like, could you imagine Mark Jackson, John Stockton, Rod Strickland, Gary Payton, Kevin Johnson not knowing time, pace, and score? You up 2 points, and then you gonna go 2-on-1 the way that Jalen Green went versus the Lakers and got his shit punched to the glass. That's why they lost the game versus the Lakers.
yeah.
I mean, bro, like these guards are just stupid. You know what I'm saying? Not all, but some. You know what I'm saying?
So is it fair to say that basically what we all are saying is the love of the game, bro? The guys back then loved the game more than the guys this era.
Well, they're held accountable, Dre. I mean, yeah, that's true. But again, I mean, they were held accountable. So I mean,
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
You know
I think that's one of the biggest differences. Accountability.
And they also understood the importance to show up every night and give the
Right.
fans what they want as well. Though they understood that aspect.
That's why I said the love of the game. That's why I said the love of the game.
Herm, and when you
guys today
and
have
when you're
fans
underpaid,
$1,000 to come see them and won't even
Right.
suit up.
and Dre
Some
and Herm,
bullshit.
when you're underpaid, bro, like your love for the game is higher because
Yes,
you
sir.
want to get paid.
Yes,
Like
sir.
guys now are being paid before they're done.
Spoiled.
So therefore,
Exactly,
you
bro.
won't get the
Microwave.
best product out there, or you won't get the best effort for these guys because they've already got paid. You know what I'm saying? They've already got paid.
Man, I think about the role players for Portland, those championship rosters, man.
God, bro.
Cliff Robinson, Terry Porter, man.
Terry Porter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man, like Dougworth, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man. Yeah.
Dang.
I met Terry Porter a few times here in
Dang,
fact back in the day. He was on Rick Alderman's coaching staff in the early 2000s when Rick came over to Sacramento. Yeah, bro. Chris Levingston. I'm sorry. He was on the Bulls. I'm talking about who's the dude to play for the Blazers? Not Duckworth, but the other guy. He got traded to the Blazers. Power forward or like the 3 position. He was good.
Damn, I'm trying to remember that. I'm trying to remember.
Damn
I
it.
can't remember that was because that's what I was thinking about.
You talking about on the 92 team? Is he on the 92 team?
Yeah, 91-92 team. He played a 3, but he got traded a few years prior to that. He was good.
About Buck Williams?
No, not Buck Williams. Starts with an L.
Yeah, I know you're talking about because they had him. They had Scotty match on him sometimes. I can't think of his
he
name.
was
I know
good, bro. He was good. But yeah.
One fam said we just talking.
No, we're not just talking, bro. Because we can run down. We can run down these role players right now and start to compare them. Oh, my bad. Yeah. Jerome Kersey. I'm tripping.
Okay.
And Cliff Robertson. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I had.
Jerome Kersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very underrated. Very underrated.
Jerome Kersey and
those guys are beast.
Okay, Terry Porter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Think about, but man, just think about how many role players do you see like him in today's NBA?
Like good role players?
Yeah, like good role players. Like he was hard nosed, very smart. Like
a good role player that's like that.
He was never out of position. His IQ was what made him so special as a role player.
Hey, and one fam, if you want to come in, I'll tell Mario to drop the link, one fam. And you can bring your ass in and you go get your ass destroyed, but you can come in and talk your shit. So one fam, I'm gonna ask you, do you want to come in?
Yeah, let them come in. Herm, did they forget that the Blazers got to 2 finals in 3 years? Did they not know that?
And plus, they got robbed in one of them. It really would have been.
The Blazers made it to 2 NBA finals and within a 3-year span. I mean, this is crazy.
And they probably would have won one of them if they didn't rob them that year against the Lakers.
Yeah.
You're talking about Mark was a bad man. He was solid. He was solid for the Blazers too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Talking about Mark Bryant.
Yeah. So.
Would you guys consider a guy like Mark Jackson a role player?
But he was a very good one.
Mark Jackson, like for the Knicks and Pacers, like the point guard.
Yeah, Knicks and Pacers.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't a star player. I mean, he wasn't that. I mean, he was on the Knicks and Pacers, but he was a floor general. I mean, he's a role player, but he knew his role and he played his bro. I mean, they took the Bulls 7 games, had a 15-point lead in Game 7. They probably should have won Game 7. Mark Jackson was incredible in that series. Travis Best, off your bench, giving you 15 points a game. A little miniature point guard.
Travis Best, Jalen Rose.
Right.
Like, they had a nice bench.
You can shoot it. I mean, come on, man. This is crazy. What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, you can even go into the early 2000s and look at some of the role players from the early 2000s as well. Though. Look at guys like.
Well, I look at those Lakers teams too. I mean, the team that stands out to me are teams like the Lakers and Spurs. I mean, they've always had good role players. Yeah, they were top heavy, but Devin George, Robert Horry, Derek Fisher, Sasha. They had Ron Harper, Glenn Rice. I think they had Dennis for 1 year. Horace Grant played on one of those teams. I mean, they were just deep.
All right, one fam, click the link, nigga. If you talk about we just talking and just chatting, nigga.
Yeah, they were deep.
We ain't even gonna jump on you.
Look,
because there's the old sayings, right?
There's
the old sayings.
You can let Wisdom in, Mario. Let Wisdom in, Mario. And also, I'm waiting on this guy, one fam.
Salute, fellas. I'm in this thing.
What's
I'm in
happening,
this thing. Salute, yeah. Shit, nothing much, man. Just hearing y'all chop it up, man, on some real shit.
Yeah. There's an old saying: role players get you, and then your star players take you home.
So,
right.
What year do y'all put in as the new era of the role players? Because I hear y'all bringing in the late 2000s now. So what year do y'all put in terms of the new era?
I'm gonna tell you when I started it, and I kind of did it on purpose.
Yeah,
but Have I really started it because they acted like these guys now cleared it? I started for 2019 on up on purpose.
Oh,
Yeah.
29. Yeah,
I was gonna say
2019.
when
Come
Kobe
on,
retired. When did Kobe retire?
Come on, 2019 ain't no
16 or
competition,
17, I
though,
think.
man.
Yeah, that's when I would say
16
that
was
new
Kobe's
era
last
started.
year. 2016 was Kobe's.
Yeah.
That's when
But
I would say that new era started.
but this era
Mhm.
does have like role players that you could respect, guys like Herb Jones and those guys. Because look, it's tougher to defend in this era. So the good defensive players like the McDaniels and those guys got to give them some respect for having a battle against these rules that go against good defenders. So there are some good role players in this era, not like it was back then, but this era got some good role players now.
Yeah, but I can't mention Herb Jones until Herb Jones has done it for a consistent period of time. A couple good years ain't gonna do it for me. And so I get what you're saying, but I need them to do it for at least 2 or 3 more years at this level, and then I can put them in that conversation. That's just
And
me.
what's
Though.
his role? What's his role?
I don't know. I mean,
3 and D.
well, I
Because see,
mean,
role
Great
players
defender,
were
and he
known for
Ball will?
improved
their,
his.
role players were known for their roles.
I mean, does he shoot the 3-ball well? I mean, I'm not sure what they do.
Yeah. Like he has improved massively from the 3-point range, and
Yeah, let me look this
the
shit
defense
up.
and the defense
Especially the
always
last
been
two
there.
seasons. Yeah, especially
Yeah,
the last
defense
two
is always
seasons.
yeah.
3-point the last 3 seasons. So I give you that.
Defense has always been there for that kid. That kid came in the league playing defense.
I do agree with that.
Would y'all consider Rodman a role player?
Yeah, for sure. Rodman,
Yeah,
he
an
might
elite role
consider
player.
the
Yeah,
greatest
an
role
elite
player of all
role player.
time. If
Yeah.
not one of the, you might consider him the greatest role player because
Yeah,
he made
he
impacts
is.
on every team he went
There's
to.
levels to role players too now. Like you have high impact role players.
Herb Jones
You know
is
what I'm saying?
shooting. Herb Jones is shooting 35% from 3-point range. I don't know, bro. I mean, he known for his defense, not his shooting.
Hey, Matt, when he first came in the league, bro, he could hit the side of the backboard.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he's
Like
only
he
been in the
couldn't
league for
hit
3 years, and he shot 33%, 35%, 35%. So I mean, he's got better by two percentages. So I guess, but he's not known for his shooting. He's known for his tenacious defense. He's long, lengthy. But Dennis
And it's
Rodman,
athleticism. He just known for
yeah,
defense
but
and
Dennis Rodman,
athleticism.
of course, bro. Dennis was the ultimate role player.
But this is how it all
it's-
started though. We took when we come to the role players and we decided with role players, we didn't include the best 2 players on the team. So we just count everybody else after the 2 best players on the team.
Right,
And that's how we
exactly.
came up with the role
So-
players.
So guys like Conley now at this stage of his career, he's a role player now, right? And that's a damn good role player, right? Mike
Yep.
Conley.
Yeah,
He's
you
been
give
a
me
role
Mike
player.
Conley, bro, and then I'll give you Travis Best. I mean, okay. I mean, he's
Yeah,
cool.
Mike Conley clears Travis Best though. I
No,
ain't
no,
gonna
no,
lie to you.
no,
No,
No, bro.
Now, that's
At
a
this
role
stage of their
player. He
career,
wasn't.
I'm taking Travis Best over Mike Conley Jr., bro. You get to go back and watch this dude play basketball for the Pacers.
I remember Travis Best. Best.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. I mean, Conley
Travis
cool.
Best was torturing
I
my
remember the
Bulls,
lefty.
man.
Yeah,
He was
I
All
he
remember
was
right,
torturing my
Travis
Bulls.
Best,
Yeah. I remember Travis Best.
I'm
Come on
taking
now.
Travis Best. I mean, Conley cool. He's an old white veteran. He ain't gonna turn the ball over. I get it, but I'm taking Travis Best.
And then we're talking about a guy that's like in his latter years, bro. I mean, like, come on.
Right.
Nah, but Conley's still getting it done though. He's actually
He's a
been
solid role player.
healthier.
No,
Yeah,
he's
like
having
he's
a
actually
good
been
season.
healthier. Yeah,
He's having a good year. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He's having a good year for what he's asked to do.
yeah, exactly.
Keyword is for what he's asked to do.
Asked to
He's having a
do,
good
yeah.
year.
You feel me? Like he had his time already, big contracts and shit. Now he's trying to be a piece in a young team that's trying to, make a deep playoff run and finally, like get over that hump. Minnesota's trying to get over a hump, like a dry spell of playoff success.
Mhm.
We got niggas in the comment section tell us Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart wasn't even a better role player than Antonio McDyess.
Isaiah Stewart, bro.
When Antonio McDyess
David.
was a role player in Detroit, he wasn't even better than him.
Yeah,
Herm,
we
they
talking
say
about
Isaiah
one
Stewart.
knee McDyess too.
Herm, if they say Isaiah Stewart, bro, I'm gonna say Dill Davis and Antonio Davis, man. Stop it, man. Next, let's move on.
Yeah,
come on.
I'm gonna throw
We
Derek
got
McKee.
PJ Brown.
I'm gonna throw Derek
and
McKee in there
Come
too.
on, man.
Right, this shit
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't know about Isaiah Stewart. I don't know.
Charles
about
Oakley. Yeah. Charles Oakley. Stop it.
Now he brought up Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston. Hell,
that. Good role players.
No,
Right?
no,
can't-
that's a good argument. No, I actually like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but here's my counter.
Good players.
Though. Just give me Byron Scott and Michael Cooper.
Well, okay, Coop. Okay, that's something different. Byron Scott.
too.
Byron
You must
That's
forget
awesome.
what Byron Scott was
No.
doing.
What about
Let's
David
slow
West?
down
He
a
didn't
little
mention
bit.
David West. He didn't mention David West in that conversation.
Scott.
Yeah, David West should be in there too. I
I
definitely put that.
mean,
David West was very
it's a
Just give me
toss-up,
Bob
bro.
McAdoo then.
It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up.
McAdoo as a role player.
I'm not gonna
That's
do value
I
on
beat
Andre.
her. All I could do was a good role player. And
Because
that-
what
that's
Andre
Shrimp.
brought, because what Andre did defensively and offensively, I mean, he listen. Okay, to me, it's just a toss-up. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
with-
that's
with either
one
crew.
great team that was put
Yeah.
together. I mean, you just naming one team. I mean,
Right. Which one's
Nah,
the era?
but look, but
Era.
the Rockets, for that time, the Rockets, PJ Tucker as a small ball 5 at 6'5", doing what he was doing that season. That's a good
Never
role
won
player
nothing.
right there.
No, hold on, bro. I'm a Rockets fan. PJ Tucker at the 5 position was the most idiotic thing I've ever seen in my life. It never won anything. He's
He
a
did
fake
his
tough
job,
guy.
Moss. Come on.
No,
bro.
he did
his
not
job.
do his
Come
job,
on,
bro.
bro.
No, he did not do his job.
Come
He
on,
got
man.
killed on defense. He knocked down a couple of 3 balls. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. Other than that, bro, he did not do his job.
What about when he was with the Bucks? He didn't do his job.
What do you mean? KD torched him. What
They
you
wouldn't.
talking about?
They wouldn't better put him at the center against.
I mean,
80s,
come on,
90s.
it's crazy, bro. I mean, what do you mean he did his job, bro?
I don't know.
Tucker,
I always thought PJ Tucker was a good role player to me.
He is. He's a good role player.
I
okay,
didn't-
he's okay.
I'm not saying he's a star, but I think he's a good role player. That's
He's
all I'm
nowhere
saying. I
near
think
that,
he's a good
man.
role
He's not a
player.
star. He's okay. Nothing special. I mean, there's a lot of PJ Tuckers in the 90s, man, that we can name. I mean, he's not. I mean, bro, like, name me a player where we're gonna say in the 90s that player didn't exist. How about that?
I'm not gonna fight you with that.
I got you,
the
bro.
old
I got
school
you.
in terms
Niggas
of the
want to
role
bring up
players.
KCP. I could name a million KCP.
I mean,
role players
that's
in the
a
80s.
3-and-D guy. I mean, yeah, that was all over. A
Bobby
dude
Jones.
today-
He said KCP. Okay.
Yeah. Bobby
Devin Gordon.
Jones.
I
Give
mean,
me
yeah.
Bobby-
I mean, okay.
Nah,
I mean,
like you could just
Gordon.
name Raja Bell for that.
What you
That-
talking
that-
about?
Hell,
that's
I
easy.
can name
KCP.
Danny. I can even name Danny Ainge for KCP.
Right. How about Dirk McKee for the Knicks? I mean, what are we talking about, bro? Stop.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let me
KCP.
see.
Stop it, man.
What player in this era wasn't around back then? That's tough to say. You talking about role
There you
players.
go.
I can't really think.
Yeah. Aaron McKee, Derek McKee for the Pacers.
You can
I
find a
mean,
player that wasn't
what are
around.
you
back
doing,
then.
man?
Every
This is
player.
crazy.
Yeah,
Every
you
player
can't really.
You can name the Jordan Clarksons. You can name the Bruce
Jordan
Brown.
Clarkson's. I'm gonna give you 20 Kukoc. Okay. You give me
any
Jordan
guy that you
Clarkson,
think you can
I
name that
raise
had
you
guys
20
back in the
Kukoc.
90s. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Any guy that you think that you can name that you think will be one up. you can
Right.
name two or three
Yeah,
guys.
with the microwave scores, you got microwave Vinny. You got a lot of guys off the bench that were just for scoring in the old school too.
I
So
tell
there's
you
not
what,
really
Wisdom.
guys. You
Hey,
can name.
Wisdom. Hey, Wisdom, bro. Who do you think is the greatest 6-man scorer off the bench in this era? Is it Jamal, Lou Williams, or who? Or Clarkson? I'm assuming.
I'll take Jamal over Lou. I like Jamal.
Okay.
more.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Guess what? You give me Jamal Murray, bro, or Jamal Crawford. I give you 20 Kukoc. I mean, come on, man.
That's
I give you 20
6'10",
Kukoc.
6'10"
Yeah.
ahead of his time. Yeah,
Right.
that's
Come on,
that's
man.
tough.
Crazy. Big shots in the finals. I mean, come on, man. It's crazy.
Went to Philly that one
You can't
season,
name one
elevated
guy in
them.
this era that's a Robert Ory. Name one guy in this era that's a Robert Ory. Or
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
I
good.
said
That's
that.
good.
Derek
Yeah.
Fisher. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
Right.
you gotta stop
Robert
it.
Ory.
That's tough.
You can't
Oh,
name one guy in the
You
era.
know what? I got a guy, and he hasn't won 7 chips, but for a while there, I'm like, he's always winning championships as of late. And y'all gonna laugh when I say this name, Danny Green. At one point, you look up,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
got,
No,
yeah,
I
you look
get
up,
it.
and this dude
Yeah.
is on like a
Hey,
he's raising rings. I'm like, God damn, this dude got
he
Yeah.
killed my heat.
Yeah.
He killed
That's
my heat.
close
Shit, I
to
know
me,
about Danny Green.
He's the closest
I know
one,
about
right?
Danny
Yeah,
Green.
he's
Yeah.
the closest one, bro.
No doubt about it.
Hell, man, and y'all, I can name Sam Cassell. I could bring up
Sam,
Man
yeah.
Max. I could bring Man Max into effect. I could talk about Otis Thorpe,
Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith. I mean, those role players alone better than the niggas that they name.
But I think it's the role players back then actually had a role. These players
Yeah.
now, it's like by
This
this
dude said
position and
KCP is
list
It's
heavy.
chaos.
position.
It's chaos,
Yeah,
man.
it's
Like, this
just by
era is
position.
chaos,
So
bro.
okay, you're a stretch big. Okay, you're a
Yeah,
point
man, I see
forward.
tripping to my
You just get in that role by position. It's not by what you actually do, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know.
Salute, fellas.
Yeah, I mean,
Salute,
yeah,
man.
salute, bro. Yeah, I mean, this era, like you got you Max Struces as role players and things like that.
What? Matt Struess. Man, I
No,
just
no,
saw
I'm
that
just
sound and-
I'm just naming this
come on,
era.
bro.
You know, like he's a sniper.
And then said,
Hey Trey, I
out of all
told
guys,
Mario, I told
you would name Matt Struess, man. Come
Mario
on.
to drop the link for you, man, so you can come on in.
Her.
And then you got guys like
Out of
Tim
all
Hardaway
guys, looking
Jr.
to name Matt Struess.
I like Derek
as a
White. I
sniper
like Derek
in
No,
White.
no, I'm
NBA.
just
Come
trying
on,
to
Wizard.
name guys. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a decent
Crazy,
role
bro.
player.
Tim
in this era.
Tim
like
Hardaway
Derek
Jr.
I like
Yeah,
Derek
yeah,
White.
bro. Like, he's a decent
I
role
think
player,
Derek
bro.
White.
Derek White's a good role player in this era as
What
well.
up, Anthony?
Man, he's not better than Dennis Scott and Nick Anderson.
He
Not
sure ain't.
not better,
great
not
pick,
better.
man.
I'm just
Great
naming
pick.
guys in this
Hey,
era.
Nick Anderson.
Not
D3 and Nick Anderson. Okay.
yeah, but Nick Anderson
D3 was
lost
a
his
problem
mind though.
too.
Like, he lost his confidence, bro, after what happened to him in the playoffs.
What up,
Yeah,
fellas?
What up, man?
Salute, Ron Time. Salute.
Around time.
Yeah, Ron Tom, what's your thoughts on this, Ron Tom? I want to hear your thoughts on this, man.
Past versus present role players?
Yep.
Well, shit. I think most of these niggas soft as shit, and I think the superstars soft as shit. So that should go to tell you how I feel about the role players. I think the role players was just a lot tougher, and they was more focused on what they had to do back then. Because like back then, like everybody played their role. I don't recall too many role players wanting to be superstars back in the day. I mean, maybe dudes like Mark McGuire and all that, Mark McGuire. But other than that, dudes just played their role. They played it to death. Like Vinnie Johnson, you feel me? He played his role so good. Man, it was like he was the third biggest star on the team, and he was the sixth man. So I just think role players back then took that shit a lot more seriously than what they take the NBA today. And I know I can't speak for everybody or every role player, but for the most part, I think there was a little hard nosed back then. They was more prideful about what they was asked to do.
Ronton, can I run something by you since you brought that up, the role? So when I look at all the championship runs of all these teams, and you look at these coaches and these philosophies, you look at these coaches and these philosophies. I look at the Kobe, Shaq Lakers. I look at the 80s Lakers. I look at the Bulls. You know, when I look at the coach and the GM, and they draft their players, and then they put together these teams. It's a GM and a coaching philosophy. They assign these clear roles.
Hey, somebody got an echo going on right now.
And then these assigned roles, they view them as like these opportunities. So a coach says to, you know, to Tony Kukoc, this is what you do on this squad, and then something changes and they step up and they fulfill these different roles. I look at the San Antonio Spurs, the entire era of Tim Duncan. There were very defined roles. I mean, think about Manu Ginobili, who was relegated to a role player, even though he was absolutely talented like a star would be. But he had to play his role, and he understood that, right? Tony Parker ran the point, and then Tim Duncan was the focal point of their offense and all these different things. But these guys were given these roles very defined, very clear, and they were asked to do, you know, these two things and just do it as best as you can. And then you look at like the 03 Pistons, or was it the 04 Pistons? Whichever one swept the Lakers. They
beat them in 5 games. They beat them
5 games, excuse me, 5 games. They busted them up because of those very defined roles. Nobody was asking Ben Wallace to score, right? Rasheed was doing that off the block. Rip Hamilton coming off of screens. Those roles, I mean, can you name a team with a more defined role system than those Pistons? A very, very clear dichotomy of roles.
Allen Iverson, Philadelphia team.
Yeah, the Sixers, the Spurs, the Bulls.
But that's so my point is you have these GMs with these visions and these plans, and they bring in the right guys, and these coaches that execute this philosophy based on these players, we have seen, even in a situation like with the Miami Heat when they put together their big three, and we saw with the Celtics, it always kind of starts with this GM who brings these players together or drafts these players, and then the coach with the philosophy, and then they put them in these roles and then they shine. You know, even James Posey, who, I mean, outside of defense, what did he do? Bruce
Three ball.
Bowen, right? But it was very little outside of this very clear role. You look at these guys now; they all want to shine, right? They I don't know about. I look at the Nuggets, how they won their chip last year. Very clear roles. I look at the Warriors' runs. Very clear roles. No question about who's doing what. And
That's a good point. That's a good point.
yeah. I see the roles as actually facilitating championships. Yes, the Orlando Magic with Dwight Howard, each one of those guys doing a very specific task when they're on the floor. Michael Petrius, who did nothing outside of Orlando, had a very clear role.
Yeah, until you saw Kobe in the finals. I mean, yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, Kobe did.
I know. But one thing that makes a great role player is that, whatever you're asked to do, you're versatile in your role. Tonight, I may need you to go, be a
Lamar Odom
shooter. I may need you to, be in the ball court and play make.
I was just about to say Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom is a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, great points, man. Yeah, everything you said, I agree with.
KC Thunder, they got far because of those roles. Serge Ibaka knowing what he can and can't do and accepting that and fulfilling those roles. I mean, these guys went above and beyond probably what they should have because they were in the perfect situation when it came to that
That's
role.
what makes contenders
in
contenders,
that
though.
category, bro.
You know what I mean? That's what makes contenders contenders.
I can't put Serge there. Serge at times went outside of what he was actually doing, shooting threes and doing dumb shit. And so for me, a role player,
I was looking at his defensive role. I thought he did pretty well with that.
And he went outside his role. When you shoot threes like that and you can't shoot the three ball, then nah, I'm cool. I'm questioning your IQ. Yeah, I like role players with high basketball IQ, high, and his ain't high.
I look at the Toronto Raptors team with Kawhi.
I got
Right,
to
very
agree with
clear
Nas
roles.
on that one. That shit
You feel me,
drive me
Ron?
nuts.
Yeah,
I
man.
got to agree with that. Drive me nuts when somebody try to do shit outside of their capabilities.
Yeah, I can't get with
You
that.
feel
Bro.
me? I hate that.
Well, we've seen teams implode because of that. We've seen teams absolutely just get bounced out of playoff runs because of that.
Hey, yo, like I'm about to say something that might be very that might be very controversial right now, right? And none of y'all might not agree with me, but this is how far I take it. Oklahoma City dynasty broke up because dudes didn't know their roles, bro. You had a dude who wanted to be a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And the dude they thought was their superstar. Like they had the roles reversed. You feel me? Because if you look at it now, who's a better leader, Russell Westbrook or Kevin Durant?
Neither.
I said if you had to choose between the two.
Kevin Durant is.
You think Kevin Durant? You think Kevin Durant?
I don't think Kevin Durant's a leader.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be fair, yo. I don't think he was asked to lead until he got to Brooklyn, and we all know how that situation went. So I don't fault him, Kyrie, or James Harden for that situation in Brooklyn. That was just sour milk. You feel me? So like, to me, that was the first time.
Well, your point's great because what you just said, you're spot on. The Thunder broke up because guys did not know their role. And so, yeah, we can't put the Thunder in that category because that was one of their biggest downfalls. Guys did not understand the pecking order of who was who. And so I'm glad you said that, bro, to kind of clear it up a little bit.
I thought it was because they didn't want to pay James Harden or something like that.
Hey, yo, do you know the total amount of cash from James Harden to OKC was $4 million? It was like OKC could only give him 54. He signed with Houston for 58.
They could have given him the money, Ronton. They chose not to.
Yeah, they chose not to pay him.
Yeah, and pay Serge Ibaka. So that's not knowing what guys' roles are. Yeah, that's a form of not knowing who's like the pecking order.
All right, but I'm looking at this, right? If I'm James Harden, right, and I see the team that I got, which is dynasty bound, them dudes stay together. Golden State might not even exist. You feel me? So I will take $4 million more. Okay, maybe the state taxes a little bit more, just to go play on my own team and mess up what could be potentially net me more money down the road. I mean, look at the way that Golden State treated Draymond.
Well, to be fair, Ron Tom, James Harden went to my Rockets. James Harden went to my Rockets after OKC went to the finals. And James Harden did more with the Rockets than KD and Westbrook did with the OKC Thunder moving forward. He got to 2 conference finals and averaged 55 wins per season in that 7-year span, 8-year span. And so James bet on himself. He took a chance, and yeah, I mean, he didn't get to the finals, but I mean, if you look at what if you look at what Russ and KD did after 2012 in OKC compared to what James Harden did from 13 until I think 20, bro, like James did more.
But Mas,
James
you know what
Harden
happened
did
in
that
that finals,
with
though.
2 different coaches and 2 different
James
roster
did more.
overhauls.
Hey, yo, listen, I can't disagree with you on that, man. Look, my point. I'm sorry, fellas, but my point is, what do you think them 3 could have been if they would have stayed together and bought in to, man, we the big 3?
Championships, bro.
I seen the dynasty. I seen the dynasty with that.
Yeah,
Hey, Ron Tom.
championships. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, man.
Hey, I just want to chime in. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Mr. Moss.
Go ahead, bro. You cool.
No, so to answer that question, what Ron Tom was just saying, because I was an Oklahoma City fan like way back then. But yeah, Moss is right. KD was the leader back then. At the time, Russ didn't mature into a leader until after KD left and all the responsibility was on him. Back then, his playmaking was atrocious. Not his playmaking, his decision making was atrocious. Like it was very bad. And if they had stayed together, they would have had at least 1 or 2 championships. But that's the problem right there, because KD and Russ admitted this. The only problem was Harden would have to come off the bench because they couldn't mesh together, all 3 of them start at the same time.
No,
So
because it would have taken the ball out of Westbrook's hands.
Hey, yo, but look at this.
Yeah, but
look
they
at
closed
this.
though.
Hey, yo,
Yeah,
look
Harden
at this
closed.
though. Harden could have came off the bench and still played 30 minutes a game, just like Ginobili did.
Yeah, but he didn't want to come off the bench.
Nah, but all Oklahoma would have became was the modern day Spurs. They would have been the modern day Spurs. That's all Oklahoma would have been.
Yeah, that'll fall down to the coaching. Okay, OKC has never had no good coach. Never.
OKC won a finals game against the Heat. They were up by 20 at halftime in game 2 and lost every quarter the rest of the way.
LeBron fouled KD in game 2 at that last play. Go ahead.
I think Scott Brooks was a decent coach.
No, Scott Burris. You know
No,
what I
he
mean?
didn't make no adjustments. They got
Exactly.
busted up those last games. Outside of the first 6 quarters of that series, he was coached off the floor by Spoelstra.
Well, that doesn't make him a bad coach, though.
No,
It made him unable to adjust, and that's a bad flaw. That means you can't win when it matters.
For years we've been asking for
That's
them.
not fair.
Now, for years we've been asking for them to fire Scott Brooks. Like we've been wanting Scott Brooks gone. That's why after we went up 3-1 to Golden State, like strictly off star power, no coaching, strictly star power. That was Russ and KD. But we saw what happened when Steve Kerr, he adjusted because the defense was solely on trying to stop Steph Curry that they would leave Klay Thompson wide the fuck open. That's the series where Game 6 Klay was born.
I mean, Klay was hitting some contested threes, wasn't he? I don't
Yeah,
think
he
everything
was.
I mean,
I'm
that's
saying Klay lit up. He lit them up.
Look, that's just pick your poison, man. With that team, a 73-win team, there is no perfect game plan to stop them. You know what I mean? Like, you have to pick your poison. You have to blitz Steph. You can't have him having clear looks off of them screens because he's gonna kill you. It's pick your poison, man. And they was up 3-1. I can't blame it on the coach and just have all the players hiding in the bushes. Y'all good. No blame to y'all. I'm just gonna blame it on the head coach. Come on, man. Players gotta play, man. Players gotta get it done too, man.
Players gotta play, but coaches gotta put your players in the best position to get easier shots.
They was up 3-1. They was up 3-1.
Okay, how many times did you see
it done?
How many times did you see Billy Donovan put them in easier position to score instead of them just going hero ball?
Billy Donovan.
Yeah, after Scott Brooks left, Billy Donovan was the coach.
Matter of fact, people who ask for Billy Donovan to get fired more than they'll ask for Scott Brooks to get fired.
It's both of them because
nobody liked Billy Donovan that much.
I'm telling you,
they were saying that he was supposed to go back to college.
Yeah, That's the thing. He came straight from college into a head coaching job. Like once Scott Brooks was gone, I thought they was finally going to get a good coach that could rein Westbrook in, but they didn't. They brought a college coach, and I knew that wasn't gonna make us win anything.
There's no ringing in Russell Westbrook.
That's the point. Depending on what type of coach you are, there really isn't.
Hey, yo, now let me ask you a question. What coach at that time you thought would have been good for OKC? Because I heard you say Will Westbrook in. Like, give me an idea who you thought would be a good coach for that particular squad.
Back then, or you just want me to just throw some names out?
Yeah. Back then, like, you know what I mean? Even if they was with another team.
Runtown, you got to think about who could manage an explosive personality.
That's
Get
what
a guy like a Larry Brown.
a Dave.
He was able to calm down with Sheed here, so you had to get somebody like a Larry Brown and that type of caliber.
Larry Brown wanted to trade Allen Iverson if it wasn't for that Matt Geiger not waiving his trade clause. So Larry Brown clashed with certain point guards that have, you know, a certain personality. So I don't know if Larry Brown would have meshed with. The one guy that I could say is Phil Jackson because of his ability to understand your personality and kind of like finesse you into being comfortable with being who you are while getting the best out of you. So besides Phil Jackson, a lot of these coaches don't want to deal with guys like that.
Yeah,
Popovich will be looking to trade guys. Larry Brown tried to trade AI.
I
don't know, bro.
I said probably Spoelstra or Dave Fizdale, or it was one more at the tip of my head. I just couldn't.
I don't know about Spoelstra, man. I remember when LeBron bumped him at that timeout, you know, and I remember LeBron having to be told by Pat Riley that this is your coach and that's it. You know, like I don't know about all that, man.
Yeah, he tried to get on fire.
Pat Riley was Spoelstra enforcer. So just think about it. You wouldn't have had a Pat Riley over there in OKC. You would have had a Sam Presti. You feel me?
Yeah, Sam Presti isn't as tough as Pat.
Yeah, like Sam Presti's in that scouting department, you know, trying to find gems and you know, like working with his draft picks and shit like that. He's not really gonna be no enforcer for a coach and let motherfuckers know what the deal is.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? So
Sam don't try to find gems. He does find gems. That man, he'll turn shit into gold. Like real talk. Yeah, but no, there wasn't many coaches that could actually deal with that type of thing with Westbrook. And to the brother that said that about Billy Donovan, yeah, as soon as Scott Brooks was gone, nobody liked Billy Donovan either. You see, as soon as KD left, what did he say? He said it was just me and Westbrook, and then he dissed Billy Donovan.
Hey yo, now I know it was kind of far fetched, right? But now you imagine Mark Jackson taking that young team with a Kevin Durant, a James Harden, and a Russell Westbrook. Now
he kind of had that with the Warriors. He was kind of the guy who.
Right. Remember,
Clay and Draymond.
Yeah, but listen, the year Mark Jackson got fired, they won 52 games, like 52, something like that. Like I don't know, like him and Mike Woodson and Dwayne Casey got to be the only dudes who win 50+ games in the season and progressed every year that they was there and ended up getting fired on their best season. You feel me? Like I don't get it. Like you know
what it is, Runtown? You know what it is with the new era with these younger cats. They don't like those types of coaches, man. They're tough. They hold you accountable every play.
Hey, who just said that?
Yeah,
who just said that?
I remember when somebody said. I remember somebody said, "Oh, listen, somebody who could have reined Russell Westbrook in." Like if Mark Jackson wouldn't have been able to talk to him, I don't think nobody would have been able to talk to him. You feel me? Because like
it's probably not possible. It's probably not possible to ring in Russell. He's very, very stubborn. He's very hard-headed. He's a lot of energy. He's a lot of fire. He's all those things.
Ty Lue couldn't do it. Like back then, Westbrook's problem was going too fast. He goes too fast. He don't know how to slow the game down. Especially with coach like Halfcourt.
Somebody with the credentials of Mark Jackson, like come on, like Russell Westbrook can't talk that shit to Mark Jackson because he's respected and revered around the NBA amongst the players. You feel me? Like everybody know that. everybody know the work that boy MJ put in. So like for him to clash with Mark Jackson, I think would have just been showing the whole world that yo, you being an asshole, Russell.
Yeah,
But I
that's
think
why.
like Russell like dudes like that though. I think it's like real recognize real. Man, get this dude out of here, man. You feel me? But
Yeah,
Yeah, but
somebody
I
like
remember
Mark Jackson,
Steven Jackson. I remember Steven Jackson in San Antonio. He even with Popovich in the championships, he was hard to deal with, right? Steven Jackson he's his own person, and he's never gonna go off the beaten path, right? The way he is, the way he is. Some of these cats are just so embedded with their process. They just don't care who's on the other side coaching. You know,
that's
and they may bend a little, but they really don't want to because they think that they're not being real. They have to be true to who they are. You know, and
that's
I
why.
think Russell Westbrook's one of those guys. I don't think that there is anyone that could
Rein him in.
control whatever and change him or whatever he does.
hey yo, think about this though. Throughout Russell Westbrook's career, right? He's had two coaches that probably talk the same talk he do. That was Darvin Ham and Ty Lue. You feel me? Darvin Ham and Ty Lue.
Because they were former players.
Not over that. They just talk the same kind of talk. We're from what you're from. You feel me? We from what you from. And then when it gets spicy, we willing to go there with you. You feel me?
Yeah,
And then
they're not scared of
they
him.
got the credentials. Yeah, they got the credentials. But at the same time, they got the credentials with Russ. Like, you know what? I respect it because you was that dude. You feel me? I know you was that dude. You feel me? Like the whole world respects you. So like, I'll be a fool to sit up here and not respect you. I could say, yo, coach, I think we should be doing this, but I think it was somebody like Mark Jackson, or maybe like you see how
Mike
Chauncey
Brown.
Billups or Mike Brown. You see how Chauncey Billups got that Portland team?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like somebody who can relate to what, like you said, you got to, when you draft players, bro, you got to worry about like where they come from,
Fit.
how they think, you know what I mean?
Fit.
Like, or the
Yeah.
fit, right? Oh, personality wise, do they got a good background? So if you know you got to do who harness this shit like Russell Westbrook, man, simple fix, man. You got 3 stars that come from the hood. Go get
Yeah.
somebody from the hood who talk they talk.
Yeah, to
You feel me?
the brother that said that, that's true. Most of these players, they don't want to be coached because they don't like that accountability. That's why I like De'Aaron Fox and how he respects Mike Brown and what Mike Brown is trying to put into those players.
Bro, the face of the league didn't even want to be coached. Like, let's be honest. Let's talk about the last 20 years. LeBron didn't want to be coached.
Oh, yeah.
LeBron
Yeah.
skipped college, right? Because he knew he could get his bag when he went to the league. He even said
Yeah.
that the best teacher is experience. He never wanted to be coached. He could have gone to San Antonio. He went to Miami. He could have gone to Chicago. He went to Miami.
I
forgot. Hey, yo, I forgot about that. He got David Blatt fired, and David Blatt won like 60 games, didn't he?
Yeah, I was just going to say that LeBron he's had 4 good coaches.
But that's symptomatic of the league, though. You see what I'm saying? That's the era. That the LeBron era is player empowerment. I don't give a damn. We're gonna do it my way. Look, I'm from Cleveland, man. He won a championship here. I have a lot of respect for what Bron has accomplished in his career, but I watched his whole career, and he never wanted to be told anything.
Yeah.
You know, and he never even
Right.
and he didn't like the way that, you know, he didn't just all of a sudden command everybody's love and respect. Like he was rocked when nobody liked him when he went to Miami. Like all these things that he had to learn the hard way because he didn't want to be coached. You know, Spoelstra
Hey,
could
yo,
have made
think
him an
about
even
this.
better player. You know, Mike
Think
Brown
about
was trying to
this.
make him a great player in Cleveland, and he didn't accept that. He was throwing paper at
Listen,
people during film sessions in Cleveland.
Think about this though. If the whole world been telling you the shit since you can remember, what you think your attitude gonna be?
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I don't
Like
like
the whole world been telling us he
Now,
that
who had-
dude. You
so
feel
let me
me?
ask you this, Ronton. Who had a better career, Tim Duncan or LeBron James?
Tim Duncan.
It's a toss up, man. It's you know, whoever you want to say, honestly, bro.
I didn't say who was better. I said who had a better career.
No, career. Yeah, it's a toss up. Whoever you want to
toss-up.
say. It's a
It's Tim
toss up who had a
Duncan.
better career.
It's Tim
Hey, yo,
Duncan.
if I'm going off a better career, like if I'm going off an accomplishments, like Tim got it because he got the five championships. You feel me? But like, I mean,
LeBron
I
got
would
those
say, yeah,
championships
Tim
too,
Duncan.
but it's a lot of the losing and the way that
Yeah,
LeBron
Tim
gets
Duncan.
swept a lot because he wasn't ready for those moments. Coaching and teaching matters.
Exactly. If he would actually buy into a
I don't
system,
know.
20, if he would have bought into a system, 2011 would never happen because he knows how to play off ball.
Part of Michael Jordan's
I don't
greatness
know.
is owed to Phil Jackson.
Hey, yo,
It has to be part of the equation.
I don't know if I would go as far as saying 2011 wouldn't happen because that motherfucker Dirk Nowitzki might have been the best player in the world that year, bro. And
Might
he
have
was
been.
on a mission.
But
And
they were,
and
but
Dirk
look,
was on a
but how did
mission.
the series go, Ronton? They were winning. The Heat were winning.
Exactly. That's why I said that. 'Cause
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it like that. You could look at it like that, but then it come down to, like you said, yeah, y'all was winning until we made our adjustments. You feel me?
Yeah,
No,
that's right.
Once we made our
so you don't think Miami would have won if LeBron had played a fraction of what he normally play like?
It's tough to say, bro.
that's
Dirk and them
hard to
boys,
say.
hey, Dirk and them
Hey, yo,
boys
you would expect
prime
them.
KD.
Who
Hey,
was
yo,
coaching
yo,
those
you-
Mavs?
KD and they
Hey,
smoked.
yo, hold
Who
on,
was
hold on. Hey,
coaching
yo,
those Mavs?
hey, yo, listen, you would expect them to because you thought you might have had the best player in the world at that time. Because I'm gonna say after Kobe finals run, that's when he probably stopped being the best player in the world. You feel me? After that finals run, when we got swept by was that New Orleans?
Nah, Dallas.
Oh, that okay, yeah. Excuse
Yeah,
me,
that's
yo,
what I'm
that's
saying.
right.
Dirk.
We
Yeah,
was in the
Dirk.
dog. Yeah, we was in a dog. Excuse me, we was in a dog fight with New Orleans, and then we got swept by Dallas.
Yeah.
You feel me? And like at that time, yo, bro, the way Dirk Nowitzki was playing, he had the game easier for Kenny the Jet Smith. I mean Jason Terry. I mean not Kenny Jet Smith, the other Jet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
feel me? Like
Jay Terry. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
and like
Jason Terry.
he had a Jason Kidd that was just getting out of his prime.
Hey, Ron,
Like that,
that just
like
go
people
back to the
like,
role players, bro. The Mavericks had
yeah, I was
better
about to
role
say
players.
people like
Exactly, bro.
that.
Exactly.
That team was well built. That team was well built, yo. That team, they like that team was well built.
Ronton,
That
when you see a
camaraderie
team in
they
the
had.
finals, Ronton, when you see a team in the finals, they got roles. You know, that's very clear. You don't just get there by chance. You got guys with roles.
Right, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's kind of how Golden State with Sean Livingston.
And Spo was out coached by Carlisle. Because as a Heat fan, I know that we were supposed to put Mario Chalmers in that series earlier. But instead, like we stuck with old ass Mike Bibby, who wasn't doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like Carlisle ran circles around Spo. Spo couldn't make any adjustments. And in
Hey,
the
yo,
fourth
Carlisle,
quarter,
a hell of a
we
coach,
melted.
though.
Yes.
Carlisle, a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a coach.
Yes.
Carlisle, a hell of a coach, yo.
But that falls back to what y'all said because you saw Luka got Carlisle fired.
Brother, I'm telling you, these guys don't want to be coached, man.
Yeah, that's that new era entitlement bullshit. You know, Luka, exactly. You feel like Luka don't want to be coached. You know, he wants everything to revolve around him. And then
Like
when
LeBron
shit
and
don't
James
work,
Harden.
he's
You know what's
looking around
crazy?
for help.
You know what's crazy, fellas? If a player can get a coach fired, then that means he can also keep a coach that lets him do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, LeBron does that a lot.
It works the same way. It's like, you know, this guy should be gone. He's not getting it done, but he enables this guy to do whatever he wants. So that dude's like, hey, you fire this guy, I'm out. I'm gonna demand a trade. You know,
Think about this. Ronton just said it. Why was David Blatt fired when they had the number 1 seed in the East?
David Blatt wouldn't concede. That's why David Blatt was trying to coach the team, and LeBron wasn't having it. And it was very clear the reason why Ty Lue was the assistant coach was for that reason. Blatt knew he was on borrowed time. Ty Lue was on the bench as the assistant coach, and David Blatt didn't even pick him.
But that's the thing. David Blatt, he's a great coach across seasons.
But he had just won 61 games in the NBA. You didn't even give him a chance to see if he could be a great coach.
Yeah,
It just made a finals prior. The team was hurt. So you can't even blame that on him.
And what's crazy about the Black thing is, so when LeBron did that pass to Cam Reddish when he was playing the Miami Heat and Cam Reddish missed, they were saying how, LeBron, he followed the play that Ham drew. Ain't it funny how LeBron said in that playoff win against the Bulls that, I scratched that play Black called and I just called my own play. You understand what I'm trying to say? So he followed Darvin Ham's play, right? But in the playoffs, in a big moment, when Black drew up a play, he scratched it and basically put him on blast on national TV.
He had no respect for him.
Listen, I ain't going front. Darvin Ham looked like the type of dude be like, wait till I see you in the locker room, my dude. He looked like one of them folks that'll still try you. Like them dudes, like, yo, you talk about a dude who broke a backboard. You feel me? Darvin Ham strong as fuck. Like he with the shits. You heard what he said. Yo, I caught Westbrook and cornered his ass in the elevator. Yo, this what you about to do.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, it's a respect thing because Darvin Ham come from that.
It's
so
not
LeBron
easy,
ain't about to try to be
Ronton, it ain't easy. These guys got agendas. They got brands. They want to shine. It's hard to tell a guy what he needs to do in order for the team to be successful because all he sees is his own success being taken away from him.
Right.
If they get relegated to a role and they don't get to shine.
Okay. And so then that falls back to, again, the role players. Okay, the coach can't be the coach, or role players can't be role players because they're not being coached. They're not being coached correct because it's a player, the superstar driven league. You know, it's a player empowerment league. You know, it's not about the fundamentals anymore.
But we have learned, though, we have learned that the roles win championships because you just saw over the last 10 years, this is just recent history, every single team that wins the finals is beating the other team because the team with the chip was the one that had the defined roles.
Exactly.
Hey, yo, think about this,
That
though.
is very true.
One of the best coaches to ever coach the game of basketball. I don't give a fuck on what level you talk about. Mike Krzyzewski. That man know basketball inside out.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
That man said, I wouldn't dare go coach in the NBA.
Because he knows what would happen.
You think I'm about to get some dudes who make 10 times as much money as I do to get to listen
they'd
to
be
me?
walking out of the game. They'd be walking out of the arena.
Hold on,
He'd be trying to tell them what to do, and they'd be out.
Yep.
That's all fact. So you think about this. All the dudes who brilliant basketball minds, like basketball is basketball. I don't know what people think, but the court is what 93 feet long and 10 feet high on both ends. It ain't but so much you can do on a basketball court. You feel me? So like, I don't know. People say, oh, the college game is whack. No, the college game is just played the way basketball is supposed to be played.
That's fast.
It ain't dependent on pick and roll. You got backside motion, cutting, screens, picks. You feel me? You got actual sets. College kids run plays. NBA don't do that. It's 1-4 pick and roll, 4-3 pick and roll. You feel me? They just looking out. They just ISOs and pick and rolls, bro. Like that's why I ain't gonna front. Like during they run, it was a joy to watch teams like San Antonio play basketball. When Tim Duncan at the high post and he posting up and he throw it over his shoulder because Ginobili cutting baseline. You feel me? After Bruce Bowen done went and pinned his man down, like that was beautiful basketball. So like I was thrilled to see Golden State. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask you something right quick. So
go ahead.
We all remember James Harden when he was with Houston, right? I think it was him and Chris Paul 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And they had Isaiah Thomas, Zeke on First Take. And Stephen A asked Zeke, he said, how do you think that you would have fared against this team? And this is Zeke. Zeke knows basketball too. Zeke said, what I would do to stop with James Harden, because we would beat him, I would take away something that he's good at. Because right now, great teams, they can score like 5 ways. They can shoot a 3, they can shoot a mid-range, they can get to the rim for a layup, they can do the free throws, or they can do, a floater. But Houston only got 3 ways that they score: a lob, a layup, or a 3-pointer. So I take one of those away, I put them in a situation where they try to do something that they're not comfortable with doing.
Yeah, but typically what they do, the coaches that find the success, in the later rounds of the playoffs and the championship runs, they take away every role player, and then they allow their best defender to try to defend the other team's best scoring option. So you basically have disabled everything else outside of that one player.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to put our best guy there. We're going to put Bruce Bowen on LeBron. We're going to put Posey on Braun. We're going to put
Tony Allen on KD.
Yeah, we're just going to live with it. But everybody else, we're going to be up and tight. Nobody else is going to do anything. We're going to force their best player to beat us, but we're going to put our best guy against them.
Hey, and then you look at the out that they got. If the best player do beat them, what could the coach say? Hey, that's James Harden. You feel me? Hey, that's KD. We shot the whole sink at him. You feel me? He
Yeah.
was still good enough to beat us. You feel me? We took
But if
away
you
his.
look, Ronton, they get tight in the playoffs. Those guys, those role players, it's harder to hit those shots. There's more nerves, right? They're not really built like that to be hitting game-winning shots. Robert Horry is an anomaly. There's nobody like that. The role player is not really built to do those types of things.
Hey, yo, but you know what? I look at it like this, right? Like you the main guy on the team. You the dude who give him 25 and whatever, whether you're a point guard, you the main dude on the team, right? And the team takes your best asset away from you. What does a great player do? They find another way to impact the game. Now, if you remember that Boston series, right? Kobe, that Boston LA championship, Kobe shot 6 for 24
The year the
that
Lakers
game.
won or the year the Celtics won?
The year the Lakers won.
Okay.
In game 7, Kobe hit the last 2 shots to put us up. But overall, Kobe shot 6 for 24 that game. Guess what else Kobe did? He knew that shot was off. He grabbed 17 rebounds. You feel me? He went and put his imprint on the game somewhere. Hey, yo, my shot ain't falling tonight, fellas.
Kobe was an elite defender, like all generation defense.
No, but listen to what I'm telling you. Okay, if I know I ain't got my Mamba game with me offensively tonight, I'm not going to let that deter me from making an impact on the game. See, like, if James Harden is not scoring, you feel me? Like, what is he really doing?
What else is he doing? So, yeah,
what else is he doing?
No, he can pass and he can facilitate the offense. He doesn't play defense, so he doesn't create chances.
So
hey, yo, but think about this.
Go ahead.
Think about this. You're not even allowed to play real sturdy defense in the NBA right now.
In the playoffs, you can. It's in the regular season you can't. In the playoffs, they swallow their whistles.
Okay, so now this proves my point. What did James Harden do last year? Led the league in assists. You feel me? What happened in the playoffs?
He became the James Harden we know. Choke.
Okay, so my point exactly. Like, you have to have another way where you can impact the game that impacts winning. Not just impact the game. You got to go help your team so we can still get this W. So guess what? Kobe said, you know what? Powell working down in the post. Lamar working with a little bit. You feel me? Guess what, Powell? I'm about to go grab the rebounds you grab. Just because I need you offensively, because I see you working. You feel me? Like, yo, Lamar, I'm going to go hit the boards for you because I'm going to need you offensively. And he went and filled in somewhere else. You feel me? And impacted the game. Like 17 rebounds from your 2 guard. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And we needed every one of those motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's because the players now, they may be yet more skilled. They're just not as smart. They're not smarter. They don't understand the fundamentals of the game. You got a guy running down the court on a 1-on-2 fast break, and he'll jack up a 3. It's like these guys are not smart. And then so far as role players, I mean, what roles do they have nowadays? They don't really have that many roles. You got a 3-point specialist, and what else? I mean,
they're not really that much.
They just who you listen to her, man. They listen to her, they'll be just fine, man. Just listen to her. Her gonna lead you to the right way, man. I'm gonna lead you to the right place. Just listen to her.
So
her gonna solve all the problems.
So a team like Golden State, like all they role players, they could do a myriad of things. Most of them.
I mean, okay, but see, you're naming championship teams, though. I'm saying throughout the 90s and the early 2000s, you had multiple teams. You had many teams that had role players. Many.
Yeah, they were.
It wasn't just on. Oh, this was a championship team. The Sean Livingston, the Draymond Green, the Klay Thompson, the Roger, or all these different role players. David West. That's a championship team. But I mean, bro, like I said, man, it's not even a debate to me. So I'm gonna let y'all.
It's not. It's really not. Because now most role players, they only do one thing specifically.
Yeah, right. So there's no specific role. So how can we say that role players now were better than role players then when there's only like one role?
They're not. Very few guys are willing to accept their role.
So that goes back to what? That goes back to the coach can't be a coach. The coach can't be a coach because these players think that I dare real quick, Ron Time, I'm gonna let you go. I dare to say that players now do not love the game. They just don't love the game like they did back then.
I can agree with that.
They don't love the game.
You know,
They
Ticket
have all
always
the
says that.
skill and
Ticket
they
always
have all the
says that, and I
skills.
agree with him.
Listen, they have
Ticket
all
always
the
says
skills
that.
and they got all the talent in the world, but they don't love the game, bro. I
See,
mean, it's not
hold on one time.
Yeah, I'm about to say, y'all know what my definition of a role player is? Back in the day, dude was like the first Swiss Army knife that I really ever seen. Detlef Schrempf.
Yeah.
Detlef could do anything on the basketball court, yo. Some games Seattle needed him to score 25. Some games they needed him to grab 11 rebounds.
Who
Some
did he concede to, Ronton?
Gary Payton and Sean Kemp.
So that's part of being a good role player is understanding that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 1,000,000%. I agree with you 1,000,000%, bro.
So to add to what he was saying, because I do agree with what you say. Most players don't want to be coached. I'm gonna use the Brooklyn Nets for an example. When they brought Steve Nash, me personally, Steve Nash is not a good coach. Like, nothing he does was good.
There was no proof that he should have been the coach.
Yeah, he was only hired because he was good friends with Sean Marks. But because KD, look who KD and Kyrie wanted as coach. KD wanted Ty Lue. Kyrie wanted Phil Handy, and then he came out and said, "I wanted Phil Handy, and I wanted Jason Kidd to be the coach in Brooklyn." That's telling you a lot that they actually wanted a good coach over there, but they just couldn't get it because the owner Joe Tsai.
And then if they don't get their coach that they wanted, now they're not gonna buy in, right? They don't believe in the vision.
Yep, they didn't buy in.
So they never really are all in, and they're not really gonna make that deep run because they don't think they
I
can
agree
get
with
there.
you.
So then that means the players aren't passionate anymore, right?
Because the difference
They're too
with that is
conditional. They're too they don't ride, bro. They go against the grain. You know, you're supposed to ride with your team, whether it's the coach, whether it's your teammates. It doesn't matter.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. What do you do when the whole team is against the coach? Because Showtime had the brother Scoop B on his panel, and he said Steve Nash came in the locker room trying to give a pep talk, and half the damn locker room walked out on him.
That's some disrespectful shit, man.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't just the stars. Like they wanted the stars. It was
but he lost the locker room. He lost the locker room way before that, though.
Thank you. I told you he just wasn't a coach. His main strategy was play KD and Kyrie 45 minutes.
People were questioning why he got hired, though. You feel me? Like people were saying, "There's no way that this is the best coach for this team. There's no way that this guy never coached anything before. Like we don't even know if he coached his kids' recreational league. We don't know."
But see, you remember when KD said that? He said, "Hey, either trade me or fire Sean Marks or Steve Nash." Sean Marks just got a contract extension, so who was he really talking about?
But you know when those discussions have to happen, they have to happen in the off season. You can't have a disgruntled locker room, guys walking out mid-season. Like there's just a way of handling business, man. Like when you disrespect your team that you play for, you're also disrespecting yourself. Now nobody will trust you. Now if I'm another team, I'm like, man, I don't want Kevin Durant. He could do this on my squad.
But yeah,
he's gonna embarrass the shit out of my team. Make me look stupid.
Like the brother just said, like, how did he get the job? He only got the job because he was good friends with Sean Marks. Like they were really close friends.
But there's a way to handle business, right? That discussion of getting Steve Nash out of there would have been in the offseason. It's too late. You want to have him fired mid-season? What are you going to accomplish mid-season?
Because he should have been fired. But yeah, I agree with what you say. Because I don't know why they got rid. I know
mid-season and took their team to the championship. Anybody?
Yeah.
It's unlikely to make a run. I mean, who's got a caliber coach? Who's got a championship caliber coach sitting on the sidelines?
The only one you could say, the only one most people can say is probably Ty Lue. But Ty Lue, in my opinion, is not a championship.
Ty Lue was placed there for a purpose. He was there for that reason. LeBron had him on that coaching staff. He was not picked by David Blatt. He was put there by LeBron.
But yeah, like that's why I said the entire team was against him, against the coach. Nobody respected the coach. Like you said, that's disrespectful. Didn't nobody buy into his system? I think everybody could see, hey, this man can't coach worth it.
So if I have to pick a side, right, the new school or the old school, where the role plays better, the role players were better in the old school because they understood a role.
Yes,
and they understood that the outcome was more important than these little fights and these little
Personal-
bickerings and and all these
stuff, right.
personal
So-
agendas.
Mhm.
So
You have to be
okay,
selfless to win a championship.
Yes.
There are guys on the Denver Nuggets who know they could have did more somewhere else,
Yes.
but they won.
So I'm finna ask you a question that the brother Melo Riley brought up. When KD went down and Brooklyn lost 13 games straight, does that show he's not a good coach? KD came out and said I don't think we should have lost that many games. We should have won some, but they lost down to 12 or 13.
But they were apathetic.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. But then I mean, I guess that does go back to the reliant Kevin Durant and Kyrie. And maybe he didn't have good plays, man. Maybe he just wasn't a good coach. I mean,
What year are you guys talking about when KD said that? So I can cook his ass. What year was this?
yeah, go
That
ahead.
was
man.
what year was this?
Verse who? Verse who?
No, when KD got hurt and they lost like 13 games. Melo Riley said this.
Was that 2019 season or 2020 season?
Oh, that was 20. Okay, that was 2019. No, Golden State should have still won that series.
No, Golden State. What you
Well, you
talking
said 2019.
about? No, I didn't say 2019. I said when Steve.
What
We
year
talk
was
about
that?
coaching. We talk about coaching when KD got hurt
Yeah.
and
On
Steve,
Brooklyn, right?
yeah, Brooklyn. When Steve
Oh,
Nash,
Brooklyn.
yeah, when Steve Nash,
What
they
year was
lost
that,
like 13
2020?
games straight, and KD said we should have won some
2021?
games.
Oh,
That-
that's
my
when
point was-
Kyrie came.
my point was Steve
Yeah.
Nash.
I mean,
My
yeah,
point, Steve Nash not a good coach, and the whole locker room just quit on
yeah, I
him.
agree. That Boston series.
I mean, all these teams got to do, man, listen to the four horsemen. You got to read them to wins. You know what I'm saying? They listen to the four horsemen. Listen to Maz. Listen to BX. Listen to Showtime. Listen to Herm. You know what I'm saying? The team's going to be all right. Man, we ain't got to worry about low IQs when you
You're
listen
right,
to the
bro.
horsemen, man. You just got to listen to the horsemen.
You see how Sacramento improved as soon as they got
I
a good
should be
coach.
back on the NBA sideline. I mean, yeah, shit.
You see how Sacramento improved as soon as Mike Brown came in there.
Well, yeah, because he brings accountability. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not afraid to call his guys out. He's got a little bit of that old school mentality where he don't care if you're Fox or Sabonis. I saw Mike Brown personally get on Fox and Sabonis after a win. They won the game, and he still was like, "Nah, that's not good enough. We can't do that." And so, when a coach does that, that's when you know he has the backing of the organization, bro. The Kings back Mike Brown. He has the full range
Mhm.
to do and say whatever he wants, pre-press conference, after games, and ain't nobody in that organization is going to say nothing to him.
And,
And the thing is this, a lot of coaches don't have that. They don't have that type of backing. And so that's the issue right there too, in my opinion.
That's true.
that's true. And like the brother said, to me, De'Aaron Fox, he buys into what Mike Brown is teaching.
Of course he is, bro.
Yeah, because he's having a better year every year. He improves every year. And they're
Well,
moving
not
to the
just that,
playoffs,
but
right?
why
They're
would you
winning
not
games.
find Mike Brown. Mike Brown's a guy who's been around winning. I mean, he's come off of what, 3 or 4 championships. I mean, when he walks into the room, I mean, you immediately
Spurs,
Pick it up.
Cavs.
I
Right.
mean, you
Yeah.
listen.
Right? He's been part of 2 dynasties, the Warriors
Right.
and the Spurs, so he
Right.
understands a lot.
Exactly.
And then he was coaching. He's got his second coach of the year.
But the Cavs fired him though.
Yeah.
And to
but
be
Ca-
fair,
yeah, but
and to
Cavs
be
brought-
fair,
but-
the Kings
but-
have done a great job putting shooting around
Yeah.
Sabonis and
but-
Darren. You know,
but
I
the
think
Ca-
Keegan
the
and
Cavs
Kevin
brought him
Huerter,
back too.
along
Cavs
with
brought
Malik
him back.
Monk alone, has just changed life and given those two guys spacing that they would have never had. I mean, I go to every single Kings game. I'm a season ticket holder, and there's not too many teams in the league who can say that they have that type of spacing. You know, I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. The Warriors at this point ain't got that type of spacing. They don't, because Keegan and Kevin Huerter right now, to me, they're better shooters than Klay Thompson. Right now, I'm not saying
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying right now.
Yeah. No, you're right, Moss. You're right.
And so the way the Kings run their offense and back throw, the Kings get easy shots at their rim, backdoor cuts. You got Sabonis at the pinch post, passing, scoring, rebounding. Darren is one of the most elite one-on-one players in
They
the
got a
league.
system though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they have
Moss?
a system.
Yeah.
And again, this just proves they're one of the rare teams in this era right now who guys literally know their role. They know when they're coming in, they know when they're getting subbed out. They know their minutes.
And you know what'll happen, Moss? They'll go to another team and they won't be as good.
Of course not. Well,
because
I mean,
it won't fit the same and it won't be the same system and they won't
different players.
Kind of like Gabe Vincent with Miami.
Well,
it depends on if the players
play with LeBron James.
bought
The
in.
game is going to digress. So, I mean, he's going to disarm you of everything you do. And so, I mean, to me, that's more of a LeBron James type thing than it is the Lakers. I mean, anybody that plays with LeBron James, for the most part, your game is going to digress. He's going to disarm you, and you're going to be asked to stand in the corner, smell popcorn, and shoot corner threes. And when you miss corner threes,
with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah. And then guess what? During trade talks, your name is in every trade discussion.
It's true.
Hold on, Miles. I know somebody gonna type. They right now typing. Oh, what about Kyrie? Kyrie admitted that he was told to do nothing but score. He wasn't allowed to play make like that. So they just let him score.
I mean, well, hold on. I mean, Kyrie is viewed different than role players. I mean, we saw Kyrie basically, arguably, win the Cavs championship along with LeBron James. So I don't put Kyrie in that same category as role players, because I think LeBron James trusted Kyrie enough to say, okay, little motherfucker, just go do what you do, and I need you. I don't think he feels that way about most players. Like, he wants you to do what he says. And again, that's going to digress your game and disarm you from what you do. If LeBron James took a step back and stopped trying to grab 8 rebounds and stopped trying to drop 8 assists, then guess what? And actually let his point guard be a point guard and run the show. But the thing is this, though, when you're one-dimensional and your off-ball movement and off-ball play is mediocre, then you're not considered a versatile player. And so that's a knock on LeBron James' individual.
But you know what Spo did good on Miami, Moss? He told the guys to run, right? He told D Wade, Rio, LeBron, run, so get out there and get some fast break points. You're unstoppable, and that was basically how you got Bron off the ball. You get some points in transition.
Well, that too, and D Wade taking a step back because D Wade identified that this clown named LeBron James is one dimensional and he can't play off basketball. He couldn't even bust a basic zone defense, and so kudos to Dwayne Wade for being versatile enough and having some humility to take a step back off the basketball, because he knew that winning championships was more important than putting up individual numbers. And so, yeah,
they didn't do it at any other places with LeBron. Like, if you look at LeBron stops in Cleveland, you look at his stop in LA, there's no fast break, highlights really like the way it was in Miami. I mean, play after play, you look at the highlights of him and Wade, alley-oops like 20, 30 feet, the one with where D Wade's in the picture, just like walking, that was by design, and I think that was really smart to
slowed down tremendously in the postseason. I mean, you're talking about regular season plays, and I get it, but in the postseason, you have to be more of a efficient half court offense.
Absolutely.
So they weren't getting those type of plays come postseason. They were few and far between. But you're right, though. When you went to Miami, though, yeah, I mean, they played fast, they played physical. They played a style of basketball that a lot of us like to see. But then when it came down to postseason basketball and a team threw a basic zone defense at LeBron James a la 2011, it was back to a drawing board. So, I mean, I'm not trying to shit on LeBron James, man, but I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Call a spade a spade.
I got you, bro. I got you, man. I can't lie, man. I can't lie. Yeah, I can't lie. Yeah.
Well, we got a brother in the chat saying calling Golden State a dynasty is overhyped just because they beat LeBron. That was a dynasty, bro.
No, when you win 4 championships in 6 years, that's a dynasty. I mean, you call the Spurs a dynasty, and they never even repeated. So shut up. So that's just stupid, right? They call the Spurs a dynasty, and the Spurs never repeated.
I never.
But the Golden State Warriors have 4 championships in a 6-year span, and they repeated. So why are they not a dynasty? Stop it, man.
Definitely a dynasty.
Pure delusion, man. Pure delusion.
I love Golden State. Golden State's one of those teams that they had role players to do their roles. Like they had a whole
it wouldn't
system.
matter if they beat LeBron or not. It's if they win. Like you said, you won 4
Andre Iguodala, Andrew Bogut,
Sean Livingston.
Yeah, they had guys.
Yep. And maybe if LeBron James allowed his teammates to play their role and get the best out of them, then maybe he could have got a win here or there. But you see how Steph Curry allowed his role players, like you just named Sean Levinson, David West, Iguodala, and you see where that got them, right? It got them multiple championships. So again,
Mons.
sometimes less is more. Sometimes in
Mons.
sports, less is more.
Can I ask you something, Mons?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I think I forgot who said this. I think it was Meta World Peace, but it was on a radio show, and this is the 2015 finals when Cleveland went up 2-1 going back.
Yeah, with Game 4 in Cleveland, at the Q.
Yeah, it was on a radio show, and the brother said, I felt like, I'll never forget this. The brother said, I felt like LeBron James did so much that he didn't give his teammates a chance to actually get involved.
That's true. That's true. And guess what? People praise that finals even in the loss, but LeBron James averaged 35 points on 32 shots a game, and he shot 39% from the field. We killed Russell Westbrook versus Utah when he shot the ball 90 times in 3 games, games 4, 5, and 6.
That was the year that Kevin Love and Kyrie were hurt, right?
Yeah. It was. But listen,
who else was in the starting lineup, Mas?
Matthew
Dellavedova, center who was killing.
Mozgov.
Mozgov was killing. You had Dellavedova, and
I think Mozgov averaged 20.
Yeah.
So, how many shots would you divvy up between the rest of the guys?
I'm not sure, but I don't want LeBron James taking 32 shots a game, shooting that type of clip. That's what I'm saying. I don't mind LeBron James shooting a lot of shots, but if you ain't got it going, right? Come on, bro. You have to pass the basketball, bro. We killed Russell for the same thing, and now we're giving this dude a pass. I'm not doing it, man.
And here's the thing, like even though I don't think highly of LeBron James, I still expected him to win that finals. I don't care what nobody said. I thought he was going to win that.
Because guess what? Because guess what? Nobody gave Dirk Nowitzki any slack when his second best player in Caron Butler missed the entire postseason. It was Dirk Nowitzki and a bunch of role players, right, versus a super team. Nobody gave the Mavericks a chance, but Dirk got it done.
Yo, Mas, Dirk got crucified when he got swept as the number 1 seed, right? And he got crucified for that finals loss, right?
Correct.
I mean, these guys get smoked, man.
Yeah, and Dirk was awesome in the clutch. I don't think Dirk had an all-around good series in 2011 from a shooting standpoint because he shot low 40s. We know Dirk, that's not him. But when it came time to close the cast in some of those games, bro, Dirk Nowitzki had 2 game-winning shots in that series. Nobody gives him a pass. But all of a sudden, the 2015 Cavaliers, they get a pass because, LeBron James is up against it. Well, wasn't Dirk up against it in 2011? Wasn't Kawhi up against it versus Sixers in 2019? Wasn't MJ up against it in 1998 in Utah in Game 6 when Pippen had a hurt back? Wasn't he up against it last time I checked? You feel me? Wasn't Dikembe Mutombo up against it in 94 versus
when they beat the number 1 seed?
Yes.
The
you know
Sonics.
So listen, man, stop this bullshit, man. I'm not doing it, bro. LeBron James is great. He's top 7, 8, 9, whatever. He's nowhere near a top 5 player. You can't be top 5 if you lost 6 finals and being swept twice in the finals. I can't do it.
Tell you what, man, the Lakers made a run last year because of those role players, didn't they?
No, they made a run because of free throws.
But we give every player a pass except for this dude, man. I'm sorry. We give him a pass and then we get on everybody else. So
I don't think anybody here is giving him a pass, Mas.
No, not you guys, but just like the masses. So in 2015, if you're up 2-1 with Game 4 at the Q in the King's house, I never forget this fucking undisputed take. Skip Bayless had one of the most iconic takes I've ever heard in my life after game. He said you're at the Q, you're in your building, you're at the King's house, the King's throne, right? You're up 2-1. Go get it done. So you go up 2-1 and you don't have enough to get it done. But then when you lose 3 straight games, the narrative is, he didn't have no help. Well, how'd you get up 2-1 then? How'd you get up 2-1? You know what I'm saying? Stop this nonsense, man.
Because I think that second game, that's when people were saying, Dellavedova locked up Steph Curry. Then they weren't saying he didn't have help then. But then after that, Steph Curry.
That's exactly what they were saying, bro.
Steph Curry.
What happened was the Warriors made a key adjustment. They put Ike in the starting lineup. And it changed everything. And I think the Cavs coach, and to be fair, he didn't have much to work with, but he made no adjustment. And LeBron James went back to a drawing board and started shot jacking and trying to do everything. Now, listen, I commend him for trying to do everything because, I mean, I get it, but we talk about basketball IQ. That wasn't a very smart thing to do because it didn't lead to winning, right? Yeah, you put up 35, 12, and 12, but you shot the ball poorly and no other guy got into a rhythm. And so to me, it's just like this whole LeBron James system where he isolates and then he dictates everything. Kobe Bryant said it best. Like, you don't win that way. And now some people will say, well, Keith or Maz, he has 4 championships. Yeah, but, you know, Chris Paul, D-Wade, Kyrie, Kevin, and Anthony Davis. So, I mean, what you saying?
I'm not saying they say he got 4 championships, but you could also argue that he could have had more.
He definitely could have had more.
He could have had more. What years? What years?
What years?
Yeah. The years he lost, make a case why he should have won.
Let's see.
How about 07?
07. Oh, he couldn't shoot.
Okay. 2011.
The zone defense. He couldn't get past the zone.
2014 beat by record margin. Explain that.
Yeah, but that's the same reason he couldn't shoot for both of those championships.
That's okay. Cool. Okay, so that's 2 losses. How about 2014 beat by record margin?
There's no excuse for 2014. I don't care what nobody say. There's no excuse. 2017, no excuse. He got his ass blown out the water.
2018,
no excuse. He made the finals.
Okay, well then his 4 championships are exactly what he should have then.
No, there were some seasons they like the year that they lost to the Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals
and the Celtics in
right, and the like those were chances for him to get to the finals and win too.
He choked. He fell short. That's basically what it was.
Yeah. Well, those seasons he won back-to-back 60+ games. But what people don't tell
my
you,
point is he had good teams with guys shooting 40% plus from 3, and he didn't win.
Was he up 2 games on Boston too in 2010?
I have to go back and look. I have to go back and look. But what people don't tell you is that even though they won back-to-back 60+ games, if you go look at their record versus Orlando and Boston, those seasons they had a losing record. So to me, I knew, they were the number 1 seed, and the media may say they're the favorites, but I knew come postseason time that Orlando and Boston, from a matchup standpoint, was just too much. And so I never bought into that narrative where, the Cavs should get to the finals, because I knew that Boston and Orlando were just better teams. But I'm not sure if he was up 2-1 or not. I know in 2010 he lost in 6 games, and that part I do know. And then he went on to go to, Miami.
Like, I'd say though, I think he was up that Boston series. I gotta look it up too, but I think he was up like 2 games.
We kill Kevin Durant for going to the Warriors, and we question his championships, and there's the asterisks. But we're giving LeBron James credit for championships playing with super teams. I mean, the hypocrisy is at an all-time high. All-time high.
To add to that, Mons, I want to add to what you just said, because I don't like that neither. No, you notice how fucking not only did LeBron get an MVP playing with Dwayne Wade, he was also in a running for a DPOY.
Bro, he got back-to-back MVPs playing with Wade and Bosh, bro. But they told us that Kevin or Steph Curry could never win an MVP because they play with each other.
And then
the hypocrisy is at an all-time high, man.
And KD came out and said, "Yeah, I got the numbers for a DPOY, but they not gonna give it to me because I play for Golden State."
Right.
He knew.
Right. Why didn't Steph Curry or Kevin Durant win MVP in 17 or 18? I'm just curious. But you give LeBron James, this motherfucker, back-to-back MVPs playing with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, Shane Battier, Mike Miller.
They didn't even want to acknowledge Steph Curry or KD just because they played together.
This is
the
crazy.
Hypocrisy.
How in the hell does LeBron James get MVP votes in 2020 when Anthony Davis led them in every category except for assists, and he was a better 2-way player? And then you got AD's dumb ass at the podium advocating for LeBron James to win MVP.
No,
it's like LeBron James has like a fucking mental, like fucking
vice grip on their
like a mental hypnotic over people. Anthony Davis is at the podium advocating for LeBron James to win MVP, but his fucking ass was the best 2-way player in 2020 on that team.
And the reason
let him in every fucking category.
And the thing about it, as soon as you critique or you try to criticize LeBron, they automatically say, "Oh, you hating? Oh, you just a hater."
Well, facts ain't hating, bro. I mean, everything I said is factually correct.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it
saying? And
is.
so they can say hate all you want to.
Yo, those Lakers made a run last year off of their role players.
They made a run off
Yeah,
some free
You know,
yeah.
throws.
LeBron missed a lot of
Hold
games,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
and the Lakers won a lot of games without him, and then they went through the playoffs with those roles,
Oh,
and they played really good basketball.
to me, they know they I watched that. They made a run off those damn free throws. That's why as soon as they met Denver, I'm in Denver.
Well, they played like 30 games after the All-Star break, bro. They're winning games without LeBron.
Yeah, they got back in playoff contention without LeBron.
Well, that's my point, is that they
AD.
had defined roles. Guys were in a system, and it was working.
And so were they still in the system when he came back?
It changes everything.
I'm saying, was they still in the same system when he got
No,
back?
it's going to be different. Now he's going to be ball center. It's going to be totally different.
And that's the thing. Like once they met a real team with a real system in Denver, and the referees wasn't giving them none of those.
Well, nobody.
slaps.
Let's be real, bro. Nobody was beating Denver last year.
No, hell no.
Right, best team in the NBA, hands down. The right team won the finals.
Yeah, like that for real. No
That's
team,
a fact.
I couldn't see no team beating Denver. Denver was just, even though I was wrong because I thought Miami would win at one point, but no. Eric Spoelstra, he didn't even use his entire lineups, but no team was beating Denver.
Hey, Mr. Facts Over Feeling, there go the link right there. There go the link right there. Go there. You said Mass was easy work.
No,
I want to see this. I want to see it.
No, Ticket Ben dropped a link, and even the brother Too Smart told him to hop in the panel.
That's me, bro. That's me. I'm too smart.
Oh, what's up, fam?
Yeah, what's up?
But no, he I thought he was been supposed to hop in once you told him that. They're like, shit, you talking, just hop in and just explain your case. But that's the thing, you know, most of the time they can't do it without, excuses, deflecting. Like, that's why I don't like LeBron James fans. I really don't. It's always a deflect. But when you mention like legitimate reason for other players, you making excuses. But with him, it's not an excuse. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I don't know if these dudes are gonna come in here. I don't know.
He not. Ticket already. They already dropped.
What he wants? What does he want to debate Moss on? I mean, Moss uses a lot of logic and reasoning in his explanations.
Yeah, he was
I don't know.
making sense when he was talking. So I'm trying to figure out what
I think it was. I think it
come
was
in here
about.
and explain it, Mr. Facts Over Feelings.
I think it was about LeBron because Moss said something that probably got him in his feelings, and then he called Moss like lame or something. Like nothing Moss said was wrong. That's the thing. Nothing he said was wrong. That's why I just said that when you critique LeBron and you actually be unbiased and honest about his career, they all of a sudden they call you a hater, even though they can't disprove nothing you just said. Like the brother just said, like the whole reason that he lost in 2007, he had no floor, like he couldn't shoot. Like they would literally back off him, like just because he couldn't shoot. 2011, he couldn't.
Yeah, but he had Hall of Fame shooters on his other teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2011, he couldn't beat his own. That's why I asked Herm, like the other stream. I said if he had played just a fraction of what he normally does, they probably would have won. Like they probably would have won. Like the fact that you're the third best
Yeah, we need to get out and come back in. Look, I don't know. What is that, man?
Hold on. Your mic is terrible. You sound like a droid from
Bro, get out and come back in.
I think that's
how. I know what it was because I was on the damn earphones.
Yeah.
It was on the damn earphones.
Oh,
but look,
I thought that was brother.
But look though, man. Hey, but look though, man. You know, it's easy to cook LeBron. It's so easy, man. I actually feel sorry for the man. So I've been checking up for him for the last few days because he is better than Kevin Durant. He is better than Kevin Durant. He is better than Kawhi Leonard. He is better than.
Can you say that LeBron underachieved?
No, he didn't overachieve. He actually underachieved. Because LeBron really underestimated himself because he's so great to the point where that if he would have stayed the course, he would have been stronger mentally. He could the historic championship that he won in 2016 would have been more historic if he would have stayed the course the whole time and been patient. Cleveland was improving each year, whether people believe it or not. The roster always got better each year. It's just that they wasn't landing the marquee guy that they wanted, but it was getting better each year. So eventually, Cleveland was gonna get over the hump. They was gonna get the right pieces, and they was gonna make it happen eventually.
I
But
want
LeBron felt the pressure. LeBron couldn't withstand the heat that the media was giving him, and he had to chase the eluded thing that he felt like if he didn't do it then, he probably was ever going to get there because he understand how people rank players in history. They go off. You got to win chips. You got to win the chip, and he understood that. So that's why he made the play that he made. And he learned how to win, learned how to be a leader, and start getting more confidence in himself to be great. But LeBron really just downplayed his overall greatness and made a move that was kind of premature, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on LeBron James. He's an all-time great. We can't take that away from him. What he's doing this season is remarkable. How I feel about him. I think he asshole. I think he cheated the game. I think he started the bullshit that be going on now in this league with these prima donna ass niggas. But LeBron, what
Hey
he's
Herm,
doing
who do
at
you think
39
out
years
of all
old
the
is
stars in
remarkable.
league history, Herm, out of all the stars in league history, who had the best role players in their career?
LeBron
I,
James.
I say
Without a
LeBron.
shadow of a doubt, LeBron James. And
But
another guy you got to put right there with him. James Harden is actually right there with him.
I could name like down there most of LeBron's like greats teammate. He's had Rondo. He has Dwight Howard. He's had JaVale McGee. He's had he's had Shane Battier. He's had Kyrie. He's had Chris Bosh. He's had Kate
Yeah,
Love. He's had like it's crazy. I'm
I
almost
think
on
he's
all my
just had the
fingers.
most role play. I
Chris
don't know. I feel
Bosh,
like Jordan had the best role players
Rashard
though.
Lewis, Mario Chalmers.
Rondo,
I
Man,
mean,
yeah, he
Mike
did play with
Bibby,
Rashard Lewis. That's crazy.
Mike
Yeah, they was on the
Bibby,
Heat team.
Shaq.
Mike Miller. I mean, we could go
He had an
Yeah,
old man. He had
down
an
the
old man Shaq
line.
too.
Yeah, we could go down the line.
Mr. Facts
It's
Over Feelings. Are you gonna hop in the panel or not? Or you just gonna
Ray
keep playing?
Allen. Ray Allen. I mean, yeah, Ray Allen.
No.
You said Mike Miller already. It's crazy. He's had the most star during the Hall of Fame teammates than anybody else. And he's still third all time finals losses, only behind Jerry West
if I'm not
and Elgin
mistaken,
Baylor.
didn't Ticket bring out the stat like he's had the most team trades ever or some crazy shit like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Like Mom said to me,
Like that shit was
He
crazy when
did.
I
He
seen it. I
did.
was like, what?
Look, he never got the title, man, but maybe he did deserve that whole GM title. Right?
no,
They always
he
say
That's
got the
insane
title.
to think about, bro. Like
he pulled a lot of strings, man.
that's insane,
Hey, you wanna
bro.
know what's more insane than that? Look, it's a I gotta find it, but I have like the stats. Like almost every year and a half, he goes through like 2 coaches. Like he has a new coach down there every I think year or 2. Like there's always a new coach. Like that.
Man,
That's
yeah.
J Man in the live chat says LeBron winning an MVP this year.
hell no,
Yeah, that's wild,
no.
man.
He not even in the MVP voting right now, dude.
No, I think they were. I think I did see something about early, saying LeBron was an MVP. I think I did see something about that. I mean, I don't know. This could be just a push,
Immediate
an
push.
agenda push again, but he got to play up to it, so it don't matter.
Yeah, the media is the main reason that his career has been pushed this long. Cause, like that's his main motor right there. Is that media?
The only thing I don't like about LeBron, and I love LeBron off the court. I think he's a great person, like a father. I love his swag. Like I like LeBron, bro. Okay, but the thing I hate about it the most, it just feels like he was planted on us. Like everybody else, like when you think about Jordan or like Kobe or like Magic, they just seem organic. It didn't seem like they were. I don't know. It didn't seem like they was pushed on. And I wasn't there for the Magic era. Kobe was my era, so I could say Kobe.
And And by the way, with LeBron James, I mean it's easy to produce at 39 though when you are on PEDs. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I said that, if for
Oh
some
shit.
reason one of LeBron minions is listening, tell LeBron to sue me if I'm capping. If I'm capping, sue me, LeBron. But I know I'm not capping because all I'm gonna do is get Chael Sonnen to give me the facts, and I'm gonna tell Chael. I'm gonna get Chael Sonnen. I said, bro, I'm gonna split you the money, bro. I'm gonna split you the money,
I agree, Herm.
Hey,
I
and we
agree,
Herm.
gonna
Herm. This
expose the
scary ass
dude.
motherfucker ain't said shit about Chael Sonnen. He has something to say about everybody else, but for some strange reason, this sneaky motherfucker with a fucking smoothie business with his fucking wife, out of all businesses, you got all that goddamn money. You mean to tell me you got a fucking smoothie stand? Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
And for anybody
Yeah, where
saying
there's
that,
smoke, there's fire. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. You got a smoothie stand? Stop it, man.
and the reason why I don't think he would say anything like towards Chael Sonnen, there's too much credibility with Chael Sonnen because we all know there's steroid usage in the UFC. Like
Of
I can
course.
name like 3 weight
I'm gonna
classes.
tell
that
you.
have-
I'm gonna tell you how fucked up it is, y'all. We got Will Smith out here. He can sit up there, guy. You know, all them gay rumors and shit been out there for years. And guess what? His best friend put all that out there with Dwayne Martin. Guess what? Will Smith and Jada Pinkett finna do? They finna sue his ass. They not playing. So if somebody saying something untrue about me, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. You a lightweight compared to me. I don't care if you. I don't care. You just got $100 in your name. I'm gonna sue you for that $100, and I'm gonna end you, and you won't be able to say a goddamn thing about me anymore. So the
I'm
fact that
scared, bro.
this man ran around and said that let you know,
and,
man, LeBron cheats. So
hold on.
let
And
me
the thing
go
about
back
it,
there. I was trying to get that nigga praise, but I changed my mind. What
Yeah,
he
fuck that
doing
shit, Herm.
at
I ain't getting
39?
no fucking
Yeah,
praise.
yeah.
They ain't getting no fucking praise.
hey Herm, the thing about
So what he doing at 39? The only reason he doing what he doing at 39 is he cheated
Soft
the
weed.
game because he on
Yep.
PED. So in the day, it's
and,
not. I'm not impressed. I'm
I'm
not
not
impressed
impressed
at
with it,
all.
bro. I'm not
and,
impressed with it, man.
the crazy thing about it, Herm, why he won't sue. Not only did Chael accuse you of being on PEDs, he accused your son. And you ain't gonna press charges on that. This man, not only is he doing attacking you, he's attacking your son.
Come on, man. Like him and his wife had a fucking smoothie cart business, bro. This shit crazy, man.
And you tell him,
protein shakes. Man,
and
stop playing, man.
it's your wife, it's your wife's
It's
personal
smoking
trainer.
all that HGH. It's
Facts,
smoking
Herm.
all that HGH in there.
Most basketball wives got like, storefronts, selling women's, necklaces and purses and shit. They got food trucks and restaurants. You mean to tell me that LeBron and fucking Savannah got a fucking smoothie business? Come on, man.
Hey, Miles, as much as
Make it
they
make sense, bro.
as much as they brag about LeBron, how come I never heard about this smoothie business till now?
Because you won't, bro. Because it's called a shell company, bro. He trying to
Hey,
hide
hey,
shit.
man, you see what we do to niggas like LeBron fans? Look at Bob Rich. He say, man, y'all
Yeah, I
doing too much. I'm out. Well, we tell the truth
bye.
about that nigga.
Yeah,
We
bye.
tell the truth about that
Yeah,
nigga,
Bob
man.
Bridges,
If you
bye.
want to run for the
If
truth,
you're not gonna do.
hey, you ever heard of this saying, Bob Bridges? The truth shall set you free. At the end of the day, basketball history gonna be set free when they finally do catch that bomb for using
Right,
PEDs.
right, right,
And it's crazy. He been using it, and he's still barely in the top 10.
right. This motherfucker go back to Cleveland, Herm, and leave for 2 weeks for no fucking reason. But y'all want to kill Kyrie for going to a fucking birthday party and shit. But LeBron can leave for 2 weeks down to Miami, talking about he training and shit. Well, shit. They built the Cleveland practice facility, nigga, 15 minutes from fucking Akron, Ohio. He couldn't go there and train, or fucking last time I checked, don't LeBron James have a full gym in his house? What the fuck is y'all talking about, man?
Don't he spend
Make
a
it
million?
make sense, bro.
Don't he spend $1
Make it
million
make sense,
a year
man.
on his body? Don't he spend $1 million a year on his body?
Man, that's a lie, bro. He's
It
a liar.
is.
He's a liar. $1 million. Prove it. Let me see the receipt.
He
Because if that's
spent
the
he
case,
spent $1
then why you
million
cramping up?
in PEDs. He buy
Yeah,
off them supplements. He buy all the supplements from the black market. That's what he
right.
do. He
Hey,
be
Herm,
shopping from black
And why you
market,
get cramped in the
spending $1
finals
million
then?
okay.
dollars.
Why you cramp up in the finals then? If you spent money on his body,
Hold on,
nigga,
I'm
what?
finna hit you.
Stop it, man.
Hey, Mr. Mons. Hey, Herm. I
Yeah,
gotta
what's
ask
up,
both
man?
y'all. I gotta ask both y'all this
I'm
question
sick of
because
this shit, man. Fuck that nigga,
I
man.
remember this story. I remember this story when it came out, and I told my sister-in-law she played basketball. So Mons, you probably remember this. Well, he had a personal trainer who I think he was like in the Navy or the military, and he said he worked out with LeBron, and it was during the playoffs. within one playoff game, this man gained 7 pounds of pure muscle. Does that sound natural?
Yeah, that was on. Yeah. That's the way he came back from. That was on the Miami Heat. You play for Miami, and usually in the game you're sweating, and you're like, usually like after a intense game like that, you lose weight right through your sweat, or you stay kind of like even kill because you're putting fluids back into your body as you're sweating. This fucking steroid PED smoothie king, fucking have a motherfucker gain weight during the game.
Pure
Make it
muscle.
make sense, man.
Pure muscle.
Make this shit make sense, Matt. Come on, man. Shit crazy, bro. You getting weight during the game? Nigga, what? Nigga, you on something, man.
I'm gonna be real, bro. I
That's too
don't
crazy.
want to believe that shit. Cause listen,
I
man.
do.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna say
I
this,
want to
man.
believe.
If that shit is real, bro, that's gonna ruin this era of basketball.
I know where you're going with
No,
that.
no one won't.
It's gonna
No one
ruin his
won't. It's
ass.
gonna ruin him.
It's gonna ruin his fucking.
Nah, it's gonna ruin him for
that.
sure. But I
No,
mean, then the old heads can really look down on this era of basketball, which it should at the end of the
Hey,
day.
you want to know something though? The
I
old
look
heads
down now.
already know.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Why you think the Dr.
That's gonna give them
J's
even
don't?
more reason, though. You see what I'm
Why you think
saying?
the Dr.
I
J's
think-
really don't give that nigga too much praise? Cause one thing about Dr. J, he gives you credit when credit is due. Dr. J would have been front and center at the damn game when he broke Kareem record if he felt like LeBron was that nigga. Even Dr. J know he ain't that nigga, man. Look, man, get the fuck out of here with this LeBron talk. Y'all niggas talk about he the GOAT, and all y'all do is praise losing. Y'all some fucking losers for real, for praising the loser or praising the cheater. End of the day, this nigga let this white boy walk around, talk cash shit about him. He ain't do shit about it.
Ain't
And
said shit.
then he want to fuck with Delonte West because his mama made some decision. You can't control what your mama do, but you want to get mad at the nigga because his mama made a move
Right.
on him.
Right.
But you don't
Mama
want to do
need
shit
love
to
too,
a
Herm.
white boy.
Yeah, fuck it, Herm.
Yeah,
Mamas
then
need
you
love
know.
too. Yeah, that's not your business. She a grown ass fucking woman.
And I'm gonna say something that a lot of people gonna be mad about, and they don't want to accept this. Steph Curry is the most influential player of this generation, not LeBron James.
He's the best player too of this generation, bro.
And the media don't like that.
But guess what? Facts over feelings. Hell, Dr. J told you when he did his own list, he got his 5 favorite players that he looked up to, that he loved as a kid as his top 5, and he don't even have LeBron in his top 10, nigga. So you want to talk about Jordan that top 5, LeBron that top 10 of Dr. J's ranking. So what you got to say about that, you
Yeah, I
bum?
don't take facts over feelings serious, man. He ain't been on the panel. He's scared to talk. Hit the link, nigga. I don't take you serious, man. Until you come on the panel, nigga. Fuck out of here.
He still ain't hopping.
Hey, you can't keep defending this cheater on facts over feelings, man. You gotta go and see the light and understand, man. At the end of the day, bro, if a nigga put dirt on your name, if any man put dirt on your name that is not true, you go check that shit at the door. That punk ain't checked that shit at the door. He letting him run his damn mouth about him and his son. Man, look, soon he said, "Now I thought LeBron was gonna find the snap when he said something about his son." I was like, "Well, maybe LeBron trying to treat him like how Jay-Z do niggas." You know what I'm saying? But then I thought about, I said, "Damn, this nigga let this nigga say his shit about his son, and he still ain't gonna do nothing." So you know that shit true. And I hate to say it. I hate to say it. His son was on it too. That's why he almost had a heart attack out there during practice. And that's why he haven't played this season for USC. Because he down there about to have heart failure for using the PEDs that his daddy used. And I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna take it a step further. LeBron, you almost killed your son with your cheating, man. You almost killed your son with your cheating. I'm gonna go that far. You influenced your son to cheat too, and he almost died because of you, boy. Cheater. And you don't want to say shit to Chael Song.
No, don't tell her to chill. Because if somebody accused not just you of using performance has some drugs, but they accuse your teenage son of doing it, wouldn't you don't come to your son's aid? Wouldn't you try to don't clear your son's name?
Hey, now better yet, y'all, let me do this though, man. Look, this is not Ticket TV doing. Ticket ain't got nothing to do with this. This is Herm just talking his shit about LeBron James. So anybody want to come, this is a disclaimer for Ticket TV. Ticket do not own the rights of what Herm say at his damn mouth. Herm, he's crazy sometimes. He say crazy shit, and that's what Herm doing right now, doing crazy shit to stir the pot on these dick riders that love LeBron James. That's all Herm is doing.
I'm just saying plain. I'm just saying plain and simple. Explain to me how this man gained 7 pounds of pure muscle within the span of one playoff game. Because we know one playoff game, you take probably like a 1 or 2 days break, and he gained 7 pounds of pure muscle during that time. I just want somebody to explain that to me, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
They'll say he's an anomaly. You know,
No, just like he was supposed to have foot surgery, but his doctor
got
said,
the
"Oh,
LeBron James of foot surgeons.
I've never seen no one heal as fast as LeBron did." Anomaly,
He
my
got the LeBron James of foot surgery, bro.
I still don't know.
Did it. That's what he said, ain't it?
He ain't no anomaly. He'll fucking, and that's the thing. I agree with what you say too, brother. Too smart. Because if it was to come out that he was actually on something, not just like the old heads, like even the younger kids and people that actually look up to this dude, that'll crush a lot of people. Knowing
Man, that should almost be like, I ain't even gonna trying to be funny. That should almost be like somebody died.
Yeah,
I ain't lying, bro. That shit.
Yeah,
that shit would be bad for the NBA, dog.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why they cover that shit up. Like he the hero of so many people. He's still at this age. He's still the face of the league. Like that was sully so much just by that right there.
man, the NBA will lose money, bro. You know how many people would probably stop watching the NBA? Like I'm starting to think about this on a deeper side, like a money side, like big business side. Like LeBron is the face of the NBA.
I'm gonna take it this far. If it comes out to be true, I think some of his fans that love us so much, I think them niggas gonna write a suicide note to kill themselves. If they find out everything with
it'll be
LeBron
some
James.
bad times, bro. It really would. Like,
I think his fans would. I think some of his fans would commit suicide because they gonna go crazy once they find out that their king, the nigga that they get on their knees for, is found out that he's a cheater, and what Chael Sonnen say is true. I think half the niggas will write a suicide note to kill themselves with a LeBron jersey on, because they gonna know LeBron legacy is no more, so they gonna kill themselves to lay with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, because a lot of people been saying for years, "Hey, this man's not really top 5. He's not. He's barely top 10. He's not top 10." That's gonna solidify it. You did all this juice that you've been taking, and you still not top 5. That's crazy. And I don't care what none of his fans say. You cannot, like Mom said, you cannot be top 5 and have a losing record in the finals. He's the only player they try to do that with. You can't be. To me, I have him 8, and he's barely at number 8. So no, I just don't like
favoritism, man. It's just favoritism, bro.
No, it's media. It's media hype.
Yeah, media hype.
Media propaganda, and that's the thing. I watched the propaganda when I was a kid, and I knew it was propaganda. Because I remember, I don't know if I told her this story. It was back all the way back in 2013. I was an Oklahoma City fan, and I was sitting in the car with my dad, and I told my dad this. I said, me personally, Dad, KD is a better player than LeBron. LeBron just got a better team. But once KD get on a better team, they're going to say it's unfair. Lo and behold, when he did, they was trying to say that shit was unfair. Even though LeBron did that shit most of his fucking career. But now
you said KD's a better player than LeBron?
I said, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm sick. But no, I was saying around 2013. I was saying that, around then, I was saying KD was a better player than LeBron. I was taking into account LeBron, he needs the ball to actually be, successful. He can't play off ball. He can only play on ball. He marginalizes his teammates. And KD just had a 50-40-90 season that 2013. Then he had an MVP after that. But after that, OKC has been hurt every year after 2012.
Well, you wanna know what I gotta say to Kevin Durant's 50-49? Empty stats. Shit don't matter. He didn't win shit, got his ass kicked. But he probably did lose to a cheating ass nigga LeBron. But besides that though, man, Kevin Durant, you never been the man, KD. All you did, you need the other niggas to lead for you because you ain't got no nuts. You ain't standing on nothing. You just a sucker. You just a hoe. You soft. What Eddie Murphy said to the nigga? Soft with the capital T. Soft. Nigga, that's what Eddie Murphy told a nigga all life, nigga. You soft. Nigga, end of the day, that's what that nigga KD is, soft. With the T
He was the
emphasis on
man.
it, nigga.
He was the man.
And,
He was the man. 2017 and 18.
man, no, he wasn't. He needed a light skinned assassin to show him how to win. Because what do you want prior to
Okay,
join the Golden
so
State? What do you want prior to join the Golden State?
he still.
What do you do prior to Golden State, nigga? But made one finals appearance. Other than that, choked to 20, got his ass kicked in 2014. Couldn't get past the Grizzlies team. And Tony Allen locking his ass up. That's what he did.
I just told you. Every year after 2012, there was an injury, and last time we said this, you said that's an excuse. That's not an excuse. Every year after 2012, they had significant key injuries. And even healthy 2016.
All right, guess what? You want to know, son? You want to know how my nigga is to go? Scottie Pippen didn't get surgery done on purpose, nigga. After the '97 season, nigga, and missed over half of the season. It was just Jordan around. It was just Jordan around. But guess what Jordan did? Guess what Jordan did? He left their shoes up. He said, "Fuck it. If Pippen don't want to be out here, fuck it, nigga. We still gonna be the #1 seed. We still got the best record in the league, nigga. And I'm still gonna show you that I'm that nigga."
Yeah, that's
Nah, but do niggas try to put Kevin Durant? But do niggas be trying to put Kevin Durant as the second best small forward, the third best small forward of all time? They do that. So you got to measure up to that type of status, nigga. Because that nigga Bird did it with the bad. So Kevin Durant is the home. He's soft. I ain't got no respect for that nigga. He's overrated. He underachieved in his career, and that nigga just.
Let me respond to that because I don't have KD in the second great small forward. I don't know who does. Here's a small forward that I have over KD. And regardless what people say, I have LeBron over KD in no order because LeBron's not the best small forward to me. I have LeBron over KD. I have Larry Bird over KD. And people gonna hate this, but it's true. I have Dr. J over KD. Like point blank period. And that's the thing. Larry Bird, to me, Larry Bird is still over like LeBron. I don't care what nobody says. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. I heard you.
Yeah, but no, I still have Larry Bird and Dr. J and Braun over KD. Like he career wise, like yeah. He doesn't have as many accolades as them. He has an MVP, 250, 49, like 10 or something around something of doing All-Star games. He has 3 FIBA MVPs. He has an All-Star game MVP. Like KD has the accolades. KD, but I say one thing though, her KD better than Kawhi, and a lot of people not gonna like that.
I mean, I like Kevin Durant. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's actually a phenomenal player.
He's a
skill wise, and all that. I just think he underachieved. I think he's kind of like, to me, he's like LeBron in a way. He didn't believe in himself. When LeBron left Cleveland, when Kevin Durant left OKC, to me, I just don't feel like they believed in themselves and they, so.
Now, here's the thing. Like, when that happened, I was hoping that he would come back to OKC, but I had a feeling that he wouldn't because, like I told her, every year after 2012, like, there was key injuries. And 2, when he left, he did not respect the coach. He dissed the coach. He dissed the coach and the team. Like, he carried that whole franchise for 10 years on his back. So he had the right to leave. And the crazy thing about it, what a lot of people don't like, he admitted it. He been wanting to play with Golden State. It was just by a chance that he actually met them in the playoffs. And one thing I don't like, that was his first time ever playing Golden State in the playoffs. Ever. But hey, unlike LeBron, when he first went to Golden State, he won immediately as soon as he got there. Immediately. And Steph Curry did not have to take as big as a step back as Dwayne Wade did for LeBron James. You can say that too.
I'll read through the comments.
Let me read them. I know they in their feelings right now. This nigga soft as fuck. Nah. How is KD fanboys down talking LeBron? Y'all a fan of the most fraud superstar ever. Hey, like Herm said, it's only like 9 players with that actually cracked 50, 40, 90. KD did it twice, and he's on pace of doing it again. So that's fraudulent. This man about to do something that he did when he was fucking young and in his prime, and he about to do it again. But that's fraudulent.
Hey man, you know what you can get is some oil of oregano. You know what that is?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you saying?
Yeah, I was saying you need to get some oil of oregano and get you some elderberry. That'll clear you up, bro.
I don't know what it is. I was hoping I didn't catch COVID because I woke up, my throat was hurting, I was coughing up mucus, and like both of my arms were sore, like they hurted. But right now, like the pain, and I had a serious headache. The headache's gone, the arm pain is gone, but I still have that cough. Like sometimes it hurts, sometimes I'm just coughing up mucus.
Yeah, get you some oil of oregano and some elderberry. Keep that on deck, man.
Yeah,
natural stuff.
Yeah, the winters here in Denver is way different than it is in Georgia. Like,
yeah,
you really see the change of seasons here. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm a oregano and elderberry.
Yeah, oil of oregano and elderberry. But yeah, Kevin Durant, man, you know, like I said, I think he is a great player. I do think
I'm
What up?
finna go ahead. It was good. Yeah, I'm finna shut it down. Good to chop it up with y'all brothers, Israel and the crew. Man, shout out to Mr. Mine, shout out to Ron Ton, shout out to Sneed. Man, shout out to everybody that hopped on the panel, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all hit that like, y'all hit that subscribe, man. Hey, you know, I just didn't want to keep pissing off, you know, the fans. I don't want to piss off the KD fan group like I've been doing. I don't want to piss off the Kawhi group because I probably was going to go to Kawhi next. And I damn sure don't want the LeBron fan crew to send out death threats because I told the truth that they'll kill themselves if LeBron is found guilty of PEDs. You know, so I'm just gonna end the stream, y'all. Man, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all hit that like, y'all hit the subscribe, man. Get on Telegram, man. Listen to Ticket Chop It Up with the crew on Telegram. Y'all support that as well. Man, hey, y'all subscribe to my boy Mario, the NBA Latina channel, man. Y'all subscribe to my boy Mario, man. He's in Espanol, but he also speaks English as well. Got very great knowledge of the game, so y'all subscribe to him, listen to his videos, man. Got great knowledge of the game. But he's a Hispanic version of the Ticket, you know what I'm saying? So y'all show him some love as well, you know what I'm saying? And subscribe to his page. But salute to y'all. If y'all want to hit the Cash App, y'all can. $CashDough11. I ain't looking for it, but if y'all just want to support, that's good as well. Nigga, appreciate anything because I'm a humble guy. But salute to y'all. We go cook later on. Hey, depending on what happens tonight, y'all might get an ultimate cooking. The strippers on notice tonight. So let the strippers get their ass kicked tonight by playing some real competition. I'm gonna destroy their asses. So man, y'all look out for that. Y'all get ready. Salute to y'all, and I'm out, y'all. Peace, y'all.
All right, peace, bro. Yeah, shout out to Ticket TV. Shout out to the stream. Shout out to Herm. Shout out to Mass. Shout out to the brother that was up here, Ron Ton. This too smart, bro.